Hey, all of a sudden, the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. The thing, it just didn't fire. How the heck are you? Happy Monday, right here on the Monty Show. I could tell you that has never happened before. Maybe it's injured and it needs the Advocates, the best injury attorneys in the business, theadvocates.com, where you never pay a penny out of pocket to talk to one of the best injury attorneys in the business. Jake and I had a sketchy drive up to a major meeting this morning. You know the weather's turning, and no matter where you are, your road conditions can be tough. You didn't deserve to get in that accident because Jimmy the idiot driver was going way too fast. No, friends. But you do deserve an advocate where you never reach into your pocket to pay the Advocates, theadvocates.com. Make sure you check them out online, theadvocates.com. Chat with an attorney free online. Well, hello. What an incredible weekend in the sports world, whether it be transfer portal palooza. I can't think of another, this, I don't know, the NFL season's going on. Anything you want to suggest?
There's not really much going on right now, other than, the soundboard thing isn't working, and we got some football, and there's not much happening in the world, man.
And the Twitter machine getting wild over Florida State getting screwed by the College Football Playoff Committee. And I guess here's my question. And this is something that I've struggled with for a long time, and we've talked about it openly on the show. Do rules matter? That's the question that I have. And I guess they don't, because whether you're Michigan cheating, whether you're Florida State, whether you're elections or whatever it might be, apparently when things don't go your way, the rules don't matter. Because the hardest part, and we always do it this way, we did it with Ohio State, we did it with Michigan, and now we're going to do it with Florida State. There was not a single rule broken by the College Football Playoff Committee when it comes to choosing somebody other than Florida State. It states specifically in the college football selection process, the College Football Playoff Committee has a selection process that has a specific stipulation for injured players. I don't know about you. I watched the ACC championship game on Saturday, and that was not one of the four best teams in the country. Jake, did Florida State get screwed by the College Football Playoff Committee?
There's not a chance that they got screwed. And I think the biggest thing right now is that Florida State fan wants to claim that they're a victim, or that somehow they got cheated or robbed, or, somehow that there was a different standard set to them versus any of the other teams that got selected. And so, over the weekend, I'm on X, on Twitter, and I'm arguing with people, and I'm having conversations. And the main thing that I think Florida State fan is griping about is the fact that you were an undefeated conference champion, and somehow that should auto bid you into the College Football Playoff. And I'm here to tell you, nothing auto bids you into the College Football Playoff. Yes, is there a common denominator that, hey, the other three were undefeated or one-loss conference champions? Okay, sure. But the point is that winning your conference doesn't just automatically mean you get in, but it helps your case. The thing that you can't run from is that because Jordan Travis blew up his leg, you're not one of the four best teams. And it seems so cut and dry to me. And maybe it's because I'm not a Seminole fan. Maybe it's because I'm not, bought into the whole Mike Norvell experience or whatever. I'm not bought into the soft-ass ACC schedule that you played all year long. Maybe that's what the difference is. But for me, I just don't think that this is that difficult. And by the way, while we're talking about the ACC, Florida State, my biggest problem with you is that you're playing both sides of the fence. Earlier this year, you wanted to blow up the ACC. You said that you weren't getting, your proper share of TV revenue, and that, this is a crap conference, and you wanted to leave. And now, because you got, you didn't get selected in the College Football Playoff Committee, you want to say, hey, guys, we played an ACC schedule. We're an undefeated conference champion. This is a great conference, a Power 5 conference. And I'm just simply sitting here saying it's a bad look to try and have it both ways. We didn't just magically forget that you wanted to leave your conference earlier in the year. We didn't just magically forget that you had disdain for your position in college football. So let's not then try to just skip over that fact. You want special treatment. The reality is you're not better than the SEC. You're not better than the Pac-12. You're not even better than the Big 12, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue here is you don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to, that senators writing letters on your behalf. And I'd love to understand, like, we have a U.S. Senator in Rick Scott demanding information, and I want transparency. You're a U.S. Senator. We have bigger fish to fry than the college football playoff. And I understand you're not happy with the outcome. There are no rules violations to be going after. Fix the issues in our country. Then maybe we can talk about your football fandom. I look at Mike Norvell's statement. I'm disgusted and infuriated with the committee's decision today to have what was earned on the field taken away because of a small group of people decided they knew better than the results of the game. Okay, that small group of people. What rule did they violate? Where's the rule that they flagrantly ignored? Because again, their job, and this is what I love about statements like this. Their job was not to make sure that the undefeated team got into the college football playoff. The commission's decision today to have what was earned on the field taken away. It wasn't earned on the field. Where does it say earned on the field in the college football playoff committee? It doesn't say earned on the field. Their job was to find the 4 best teams in the country. I have heard, and it's all Florida State fans on the other side of it, I've heard very few people make the argument that this Florida State team without Jordan Travis is better than Alabama, Texas, Washington, or Michigan. Nobody with any credibility is making that argument. And I'm asking you, where is the specific rule, Florida State fan, that was broken by the college football playoff committee? That we have a senator taking time away from his constituents and the business of this country to get involved in the college football playoff because the BCS wasn't good enough and we have to have a playoff system. Well, now you got a playoff system and you want to bitch and moan about that too. It's never good enough. It's never good enough. Michigan cheated. They don't deny it, yet somehow a rule was broken. Okay, I'm over it. I'm so massively sick and tired of the fact that we put a rule in place, and as soon as somebody doesn't like it, they want to sue and they want to get litigious, and we've got to get a senator involved. Get out of here. I'm so over it. Like Mike Alford's statement, the athletic director at Florida State, the argument of whether a team is the most deserving or best is a false equivalence. It renders the season up to yesterday irrelevant. No, it actually really is not a false equivalent, Mike. It isn't. And the most delicious part of Florida State saying, hey, we got screwed and this system sucks. Isn't that the same thing you guys are saying about the ACC? When you're over here trying to blow up the grant of rights in the ACC and you're just rolling on about how you deserve better. Well, now all of a sudden the rules have been followed precisely and you deserve better. Somehow Florida State finds itself on the wrong end every single time and they deserve better. The problem is you deserve what you've earned, and you haven't earned the designation as one of the 4 best teams in the country. That's the bottom line. You're not. Without Jordan Travis, you're not better than Alabama. Without Jordan Travis, you're not better than Texas. Without Jordan Travis, you're not better than Washington and Michigan. You're simply not. And I don't know how else to spin that. I watched that game on Saturday, and I saw a Louisville team and a Florida State team play by far one of the worst conference championship performances, save Iowa's disappearing act, that I had seen in many years.
Facts.
How can, and again, I'm asking point blank because you have the hypocrite, A.D. Alford at Florida State, saying the fact that this team has continued to close out victories in dominant fashion facing our current quarterback situation should have enhanced our case to get a playoff berth earned. What dominant performance did you put in over the weekend? Because I didn't see that. And if I missed it, somebody please Feel free to inform me, what dominant performance did we get out of Florida State this weekend in that mighty 16-6 performance where you threw for a grand total of what? 55 yards. You passed for a grand total of 55 yards.
Oh, but it's a dominant performance.
And you think your quarterback threw for 55 yards and you think you are one of the 4 best teams in the country.
Hey, how many yards did Texas throw for over the weekend? Because the numbers say it was 494 yards, bro. And you're over here with 55 yards and you think that you should be in over them or Bama.
I am amazed that when we're talking about Florida State, you get comments like this. Florida State had more yards than Michigan. So you truly think, Marcus, Florida State's better than Michigan. That's what this comment says, that you think Florida State's better than Michigan. What college football have you been watching? Explain to me, in what world is Florida State by any metric better than Michigan? No, I can't think of one either. Because Florida State, I might say head-to-head, 100% every single player across the board. Florida State's not better with or without Jordan Travis than Michigan is.
That'd be America's team.
It's this kind of ridiculous comment that makes you understand rules just don't matter anymore. Everybody's opinion is fact. Rules don't matter anymore. I mean, it's amazing to me that you want to make the argument that Florida State's better than Michigan. You really want to make that argument? Without their 2 best quarterbacks, Florida State's better than Michigan. You think without their 2 best quarterbacks, which is what Florida State was when this announcement was made, you truly believe that Florida State's one of the 4 best teams in the country? Without their 2 top quarterbacks, with a freshman who looked like he was still in high school.
Because it's garbage.
You're going to make the argument that Florida State's one of the 4 best teams in the country. With Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Bama, all of them healthy. And 3 of those 4, exclude Michigan because Free Harbaugh is not an elite quarterback, in my opinion. But you look at Penix, you look at Quinn Ewers had 354 passing yards in the first half. In the first half, Quinn Ewers put up 354 yards passing. And you're trying to make the argument that you're one of the 4 best teams? You're trying to make the argument that Michael Penix Jr., who just beat a really good Oregon team for the 2nd time, and you think somehow that Florida State without Jordan Travis belongs in over them?
Please.
Belongs in over Quinn Ewers in Texas? Belongs in over Jalen Milroe in Alabama, who Jalen Milroe just continues to make play after play. That Alabama defense, who I would remind you, because you want to talk about people wanting to knock down teams, because here's the other thing we do. Oh, my God, Florida State's not in. Alabama sucks. I would remind you that they just beat Georgia, the gold standard in college football, for the last 2.5 years. And all of a sudden, no, Alabama sucks. Florida State should be in. In what world are you living that you think that Alabama team is going to lose to this Florida State team? I'm just curious. Because the bar is not earned on the field.
It's not undefeated. The bar's never been undefeated.
Deserving. Their job in the college football playoff committee is the 4 best teams, not the 4 best matchups, not the 4 best TV numbers, not the best stories. Their opinion, who are the 4 best teams, because those are the 4 best teams getting in. And they have a rule that specifically says, hey, if you have an injury, we can consider that and whether or not you're one of the 4 best teams. So again, Marcus, the great, tell me how Florida State's better than Michigan. Because that never happened. That in nobody's opinion did that ever happen. C Black for $20. Clearly a Florida State fan. With Jordan Travis, Florida State is the best team in the country. You don't believe that. Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson, first-round receivers. Trey Benson, a top 3 running back. Jaheim Bell, 2, 3 tight ends in the draft. Great O-line, best defense in the country.
Against who?
It is, first of all, and I'm all here. We've talked about verse on this show at length. I'm here for the Florida State defense. It's not Ohio State's defense. I don't believe it's Michigan's defense. And I certainly don't believe that it's Texas or Alabama's defense. I don't. And maybe you could have the argument about Texas. I was a little surprised at some of the leaks in their defense. They cleaned those up at the half. You're not Alabama's defense. You're not Michigan's defense. And I'm pretty certain you're not Ohio State's defense. Those are 3 elite defenses. Are you a very good defense? Yes. But much to Jake's point, the ACC, and again, I just ask you, Florida State fan, you're always the victim here. You're always the victim here. You're even answering with Jordan Travis. Well, the problem is, what about without Jordan Travis? Yeah, because you're not. You're not. That's my exact point. Big Blue Horses for $5. Other snub no-loss teams include Utah, Boise, Auburn, UCF, Penn State, and TCU, to name a few. Media can suck it. Want fairness? No more no human judges. But nobody liked the BCS either. Nobody liked the BCS either. Do you guys understand that it's never going to be good enough for anybody? Because we put rules in place and you still complain that, oh, this isn't good enough. We got hosed. You didn't get hosed.
It's incredible to me that you can't just say, yeah, we did go undefeated. We did win the ACC, but unfortunately the injury to Jordan Travis came at a really tough time. And that really hurts our team's value to the committee. And I understand why, hey, our defense may be really good, but our defense alone is just half of the football. If you're not going to have your offense at full bore, we're not one of the best teams. And it's because of an injury, and that's unfortunate. Why do you get a free pass?
And what's really unfortunate is we're not talking about how difficult this must be for Mike Norvell and his football team. We're talking about senators from Florida and the great injustice and process. How bad do you feel for Jordan Travis today? That's got to be the worst pain in the world. Your ankle feels fine. It's your humility that took a beating. That's what's painful, is those kids worked really hard, had a great season, and because of Jordan Travis's injury, they're not going to the college football playoff. And yet we're going to sit here and we're going to have Florida State, oh, we got screwed. Okay, you got screwed. Again, and Seminole fan, I ask you directly, when you say you got screwed, what process law rule was broken where the injustice was served against you?
But we're an undefeated conference champion. Our defense is amazing.
Okay, show me where's the paragraph that says our defense is amazing, gets you into the college football playoff? Where's the paragraph that says undefeated conference champion? Oh, that's next year when the automatic qualifiers come out. So next year what's going to be the injustice next year?
That Clemson was better than you?
This is my struggle. And I don't even think Clemson will be better than you. At some point, when do we go back to a real world where we live by results that were had by the rules? When are we going to stop defending Michigan, who won't defend itself? When are we going to say, well, hey, guys, you broke these rules? Yeah, we know, but we're going to sue anyway. And I'm telling you, it's across the board. It's across the board. It's, guys like Rick Scott and other senators buying stock on insider trading.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to talk about that. Well, but Florida State got screwed. It's elections. It's all of this stuff where we just don't follow rules anymore unless they help us. But if that rule goes against us, Florida State's got screwed, and we need our senator to talk about, we're going to subpoena and I want access, and God, get out of here. Your state's got so many problems. Go handle that, man. Go handle that. You're worried about the college football playoff. You're worried about NIL. You're worried about Go govern, man. Go govern. I'm so fed up with it's never good enough. When is it ever going to be good enough? At least in the comments section, at least tell me you hear my frustration on this, that it's never good enough. Somebody's always going to sue, subpoena this, subpoena that. A rule's a rule. And just like Michigan, again, just weeks ago, just like Michigan, you can't point to the process or the rule that was broken. There's no injustice. Maybe the rules just didn't break in your favor this time. And maybe you should act like the noble, professional, normal level mentality people you're not. Oh, wait, that's right. You're not. So no. you're gonna talk about, how tough you are, and you're gonna release statements. Do you guys understand how just absolutely ridiculous this statement is? For many of us today, and again, this is Michael Alford, the athletic director at Florida State. For many of us, today's decision by the committee has forever damaged the credibility of the institution that is the college football playoff. Well, then don't fucking take part. We don't ever want to see Florida State in the college football playoff community, where you're just, because there's no credibility here, much like this statement. So you're never going to take part again, right? It's forever damaged. The credibility of the college football playoff is forever damaged. You're never going to take part in this again. Is that correct? Oh, you're not doing interviews. That's right. Nobody can ask you because you're the tough guy that hides behind your statement. It's amazing. Alford continued, quote, "They chose predictive competitiveness over proven performance, subjectivity over fact. They have become a committee of prognosticators." Well, sir, they're human beings, and you voted to have your representation. Go complain to NC State. Go complain to Boo Corrigan. He's the guy who had a vote here. Go complain to Boo Corrigan. Don't release statements saying that the college football playoff is forever damaged and lacks credibility. Okay, well, then I don't ever want to see you competing for it. And if you wouldn't mind, make a call to the ACC and have them return the money, because you don't want that unethical money come flowing through Tallahassee, right? I mean, you don't want that. You can't have that at the State University of Florida. We can't have unethical, dirty money because, it's got no... Sure, you'll be happy to cash those checks.
Absolutely.
If you ever make it, won't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you will. I'm so fed up with this. I'm amazed that
we've lost the ability to lose with grace. Meaning, hey, this could have been a coaching opportunity, right? This could have been a growth moment. Like, you look at Norvell's statement, or even Jordan Travis, or whatever, like any of these guys, like, this could have been an opportunity to show leadership, to say, yeah, you know what? I am, I'm upset with the decision, but, we had an untimely injury to, one of our best players, a guy who, I thought should have been in the Heisman Trophy conversation, and he's our quarterback, and it's amazing. And, it's unfortunate that he got hurt, but he did get hurt. And because of that, we didn't put up as many points in our conference championship game as we would have liked to, but we still won the game, and we still are ACC champions. So, barring an injury, we would have been in the college football playoff, but we're not. And we're going to handle that, and we're going to move on to the next opportunity that we have. Why can't we just say that? Why can't we just say, hey, look, the process clearly lays out that this committee was put in place to figure out who are the 4 best teams, and next year the 12 best teams to get in to compete for a college football national championship. And it clearly stipulates that injury can be considered in that conversation. Yet you want to sit here and say that you were robbed and an injustice was committed against you, even though you damn well know that Jordan Travis got carted off with a gruesome ankle injury. You damn well know that you way underperformed in your championship game because you didn't have Jordan Travis, and then because you didn't have Rodemaker, so you had a freshman at quarterback. So let's stop being dramatic. Let's learn how to say, hey, you know what? It didn't work out this time. That's it. It didn't work out this time. We did everything we could do. We're 13-0. We're really a conference champion. It's really unfortunate, But here at Florida State, we hold ourselves in really high regard, and we'll get after it next season.
Let's see. Ryan Willie gives us $20 to say it's the ESPN Invitational. Really, I hadn't understood that. I thought it was called the College Football Playoff. ESPN pays for the College Football Playoff, so they feel like they can dictate who's in and who's out. So I'm just curious, where's the evidence of that? This is the other thing I love. Okay, well, man, Florida State's out. We got to find UFOs, biologics. We need them right now to prove that ESPN is colluding with the College Football Playoff.
Human or non-human?
Where's the evidence? Oh, the Kirk Herbstreit picture. Oh, wow. Yeah, here it is. Here it is with, Michigan and Washington and Texas and Alabama. Never mind, that could be a coincidence. But let me ask you this. Do you really think that ESPN didn't know what the outcome of that was before their broadcast? The one that you say they pay so much money for. Do you think they're just they have a bunch of like elves on the shelf who can just make graphics right away? No doubt about it. No, of course they knew. It's a pre-produced broadcast where the committee votes and ESPN announces the vote on their broadcast, which they pay for. So just because ESPN knew ahead of time, of course they did. Do you really think they're in collusion? So just so I'm clear, because you paid $20 for this ridiculousness. Your opinion is they feel like they can dictate who's in and out. And I don't care if FSU got screwed or not. If you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten, you're going to get screwed. So then what do you say to Texas and Washington? Because if it was just the SEC and the Big Ten, wouldn't we have had Georgia and Alabama and then Ohio State and Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the college football. Now I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that's not the college football playoff bracket.
And I think the other thing that's so funny about this Herbstreit thing is this is the same guy, and we played him multiple times last week on the show, Grum. This is the same guy who goes on this podcast last week talking about how he wants the process to be proper. He wants the 4 best teams. He doesn't want to be nice. He doesn't want to have any type of bias.
No.
I want the 4 best teams that give us the absolute best product on the field. And I truly believe that is what we got this weekend with what was chosen.
So as a guy who calls these games, I don't want to do the right thing. If you talk to Bill Hancock, and we had lots of meetings about this, they're not supposed to do the right thing. They're supposed to, their job is to put the best 4 teams in the playoff. Now, again, it's subjective. Who you think and I think are the best 4 are different, and that's fine. But that's what that group is supposed to do. Not what do we think about ratings? That's bullshit. Put the fucking best 4 teams in the game.
Period.
He says it himself. So when your AD comes out here and puts out a statement talking about how it lacks all credibility and it's subjective, you're damn right it's subjective. That's the task they were given. The task they were given was the 4 best teams, not the right thing, which would have been, oh yeah. So we've got Bama, the SEC champion, Michigan, the Big Ten champion, right? We've got Florida State, the ACC champion, and of course we got Texas. But what about Washington? They're champion. Well, there's not 5 spots, but there were 5 conferences. So what do you say now? This is my point. Your complaint is literally making the point. It's a subjective process. Your quarterback, both 1 and 2, are both out. Number 2 was questionable, come back and wound up not playing because he got whacked in the head. So that's why I say, what are we doing?
I'm just, again, it's what I've said. No rules or process were broken, and your statements point exactly to the fact that the College Football Playoff Committee did precisely what they were charged with doing. Sitting around a table and choosing the 4 best teams in the country by their own opinion.
I mean, dude, if Florida State was a 12-1 conference champion and you were 100% healthy, right? You had Jordan Travis, had the receivers, had everybody, 100%. You were 12-1, and you got snubbed for another 13-0 team, a 13-0 Pac-12 champion instead of you. You'd have been saying, oh, you didn't do the right thing. We're better than them. Well, how can you say that? You're 12-1, not 13-0. So you just want it both ways. And actually, what we should be saying is you want it any way that favors you. And you're going to stop at nothing until you get some type of answer.
And the best part about the comments about how ESPN's colluding with the college football playoff, if they were colluding, would they not stick it to the Pac-12? They're partners. They're partners literally by contract. ESPN is partnered with the ACC. You understand that, right? They're under contract to broadcast ACC games.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they want Florida State in if they were colluding? They're not under contract with the Big Ten. They're not under contract with the Pac-12. Wouldn't they want, hey, let's make sure the SEC gets to, and let's make sure that Florida State gets in, guys. Okay, well, whoever else you want to pick, go ahead. Just remember, collusion, we say they get in. They would put what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, do you think through the stuff that you say? Open the garage door before you turn the car on.
Sometimes you think I just say shit. Sample what comes out of my mouth.
Okay, couple more. Let's see how bad it gets. Net neutrality.
Oh.
Remember the last time we put an iffy, underrated FSU team in the playoff? Can't fool us twice, FSU. It doesn't even matter at that point. It's not the last time. It is today.
Which is what I think Florida State fan especially doesn't want to talk about. I'm with you. If you want to say, hey, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, we were one of the best teams in the country. Now, that's never been my opinion. I always thought you played a soft schedule, always thought you underperformed, thought you barely scraped by a mediocre-ass Clemson team. But that's just my opinion, right? Maybe I'm wrong. So let's just assume when you were 100% healthy, you were a college football playoff caliber team. We have to get back to being able to say, yeah, you know what? This time it just didn't work out. But our players gave their damnedest. And when I look at Norvell's statement, he talks about how, hey, our players, they busted their ass out there. And, do you tell players it's okay to quit? Well, no, Mike, we don't tell people it's okay to quit. We don't tell people that, it's not worth it to play the game. It is worth it to play the game. And in fact, that's why you're not in the college football playoff. You got hurt trying to get there. And sometimes that's part of it. We don't complain about like other leagues where injuries happen. Dude, we're not complaining tonight when you have a backup starting for the Bengals. We're not complaining about that. It's the NFL.
It's football.
That's what happens.
And football hurts.
Yeah.
Football hurts. Lopes fan Gabe, at least with the BCS, we were left debating the 2 best teams. Now we're debating who are the 4 best teams. What are we doing here? Well, I think it's excellent for college football. That's what we're doing, right? And what's going to happen next year? What's going to happen next year when it's a 5-7 mile and we got to debate the 7 best teams left in the country? Do you think this gets better or worse? Or I'm telling you, it doesn't get better. It does not get better.
For all these people saying, well, why don't they just adopt the NFL model? Go to the NFL model where everything's decided on the field and we don't have human beings with all their bias and, subjectivity. That's the catchphrase now. Their subjectivity in these decisions. Yeah, you know what the problem with that is? The NFL doesn't have to worry about P4 or G5. There are way too many teams in college football to adopt the NFL model.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that. And as far as this speech going around, the internet all weekend about how Mike Leach is talking about how he would have had a 64 team, football playoff and all this junk. You're not doing a 64 round March Madness football tournament. You're not doing that. That's just, it takes way too much time. We can't play, 3 football games a week for the same team. That doesn't work.
I'm telling you, the system's not rigged and it works just fine. It works. All this is people in power don't like being told no. And so if there's a rule in place that tells them no, they're just going to try and flip that rule.
By the way, do you hear Georgia?
Plain and simple.
Do you hear Georgia doing what you guys are doing? Georgia's not complaining. Now, did Kirby make his case after the game? Well, sure, because of course that's your responsibility as a head coach to make the best case you can.
But the Georgia senators aren't subpoenaing people.
Yeah, you're not getting your AD sending all these scathing letters and stuff. Like, dude, just stop. Just stop, bro.
C Black for $5. You all really need to go look at the NFL mock drafts this year. To think Michigan, Texas, or Alabama is more talented. Whoever said they were more talented? I never said they were more talented. What did I say? I said they were a better team than you. Alabama's defense is better than Florida State's defense. Michigan and Ohio State And Texas is a better football team than Florida State.
Yes.
It's that simple. Xavier Worthy's injury is a big deal. It's a big deal, man. And I'm just telling, JT Sanders stepped right up, picked up the receiving yards, targets, blocked. Like, I'm just going to ask, have you guys ever heard of Ollie Gordon? Because
Who's that?
I didn't see him Saturday. Oh, he was there. He was there, but he got his ass handed to him by the best defensive line he's seen, and might be one of the best defensive lines in the country.
That's right. When you're in the first quarter and you're on the sidelines yelling at the top of your throat to, Texas can go F itself or F Texas, and then you get popped multiple times in the game. Yeah, probably shouldn't be running your mouth against Texas. And I'm just telling you guys, dude, Texas is one of those brands that everyone hates. It's just as Michigan is. I think nobody gives a damn about Washington. Nobody knows Washington. They don't know how good that arm is on Michael Penix. But what I'm telling you is this situation with Florida State needs to stop. It needs to stop. And we need to get some coaching lessons in how to handle this with grace, because we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, totally agree. We do not lose gracefully anymore. At all. UW fan Jim says, if it's just the best four, why no Geo? Go Real Dogs. What do you mean, why no Geo? Why would there? So you're killing me. Logan for $2. You're missing the obvious. Florida State is America's team. They are. I mean, forget
America's team.
Forget the Wolverines. It's the Seminoles for sure.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
Ryan Willie for $5. Did you see Harbaugh crap himself after he found out they'd play Bama in the college football playoff? Well, they were just glad they didn't have to play Florida State.
Because I know Florida State's the best team in the country.
I did see that the entire room was like, oh.
Via social media.
And then there was like, oh, wait, we need to clap. All right. Oh, we're excited. Okay, who's got Connor's number? Let's get him going.
Sign stealer guy.
It's amazing. They clearly had pain. Hellabilly for $2. The only team screwed by dumb rules is JMU.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. C Black for $10 more. You guys need to learn the facts. Jake, if you could learn the facts.
Please learn me,
Jake,
please.
Yes. This narrative started before Travis got hurt with Kirk. Go look at the game day the morning before the injury. Nobody cares about before Jordan Travis got hurt.
And what narrative are you talking about, dude?
Stop playing the victim. The rule is the rule. And again, see, Black, I just ask you directly. There's a stipulation in the selection process that says if you have injured players, we're allowed to consider that. So what rules were broken? And again, if you're going to hang your hat on the subjectivity post, I would remind you, your guy was involved in picking human beings. The ACC is one of the most powerful conferences in the country and has a significant hand, including Boo Corrigan, sitting on the selection committee. So what process screwed Florida State? None. And there is no narrative that's been going on for months to keep Florida State out. If Florida State with Jordan Travis had been undefeated and he was healthy today, you'd be in the college football playoff.
Oh, that's right. But he's not healthy, so you're not.
My guess is Texas would be on the outside looking in.
And then we would be getting letters from Longhorn country.
We would.
Actually, we probably wouldn't, because they're going to the SEC, and this year was just a cherry on top anyway.
Yeah, I'm amazed by it. I am. Ryan Willie, Washington heading to the Big Ten and Texas to the SEC.
Yep.
So you paid $5 for that.
Yay!
Harry Austin, a member for 6 months. Thank you, Harry.
Oh, okay.
You're ignoring that Texas to the SEC and Washington to the Big Ten, so that is why your argument fails on this. Hey, it's the Pac-12. No, it actually doesn't. So wait, let me get this right. The Big 12, who's in business with ESPN contract, well, wait, but they would want to.
Yeah.
Why would you? So what destroys my narrative? Again, I would say Washington to the Big Ten. What time slot in Big Ten football games is on ESPN or ABC? Exactly none. So when they want to keep Washington out because, well, Washington is just the Pac-10. I mean, when you want to keep Washington out, ESPN, because they're colluding with the college football playoff, which they're not. Why would they want to help Washington get in? They're not in business with the Pac-12 now. And they're only helping the Pac-12 in the future, who they're not in business with either. The Pac-2, the Mountain Pac West, whatever it's going to be. They're not. You are what you are. They're not in business with them. And if you heard the post game where all the Texas fans were chanting SEC, are you really trying to make sure that Texas gets in? I mean, how does that undo my argument? If you were truly trying to help yourself and collude with the college football playoff, I think in any scenario, whether they deserved it or not, you'd have Texas in. The one you'd be arguing about is Washington. You'd be trying to keep Washington out. Washington not only got in, they're the number 2 seed. They're the number 2 seed out of the Pac-12. You're crazy why would ESPN, who's got contracts with everybody but the Big Ten, why would they want Florida State out and Washington in? Why on earth would ESPN want Florida State out? That's the argument that you're fighting for TV ratings. So what you're saying, Florida State, is you recognize you don't draw the TV ratings that the other 4 do. Oh, it's subjectivity so that they can sell ads. Florida State, you're saying you don't sell ads.
That's bullshit.
And you're saying that you don't bring fans to the TV.
No.
I'm not saying that. Well, actually, isn't that what you said? Because
I'm not talking about that.
You're saying that Texas is a better football brand than you are. And Alabama is a better football brand than you are. Because that's why ESPN, that's the only thing that makes sense. Bob Iger's a lot of things. He ain't stupid, so he'd be colluding with to make sure to keep Florida State out. Because nobody watches
what are you talking about, man?
your games, and you're a small brand? What are you talking about? They would be trying to help you, not hurt you.
You guys are spending so much time justifying why FSU should be in. You're missing the point here, bro.
Very much.
Bro, who's the number 1 seed? America's team. The Michigan Wolverines have found their way through.
Yep.
How is nobody talking about this? How is nobody talking about the coaching job done by Nick Saban this year? This guy's in the college football playoff and had to beat Georgia to do it, and you want to come bark up my tree about an average-ass Florida State team? We're distracted. We're just simply distracted. We're missing the most important conversations in the college football playoff because we have victimhood over here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, totally agree. It's remarkable to me. Let's see. Matt Ritson for $2. Which commissioner, WITCH, was booed after games by the fans? Well, it was Brett Yormark. Was that just you didn't know the answer to that, or
who? I have to say, when I was watching that, that's the first time I've ever seen Brett just a little bit rattled.
He was shook. There's no doubt.
He was rattled.
He was shook. There's no doubt about that. MJ Bissett, only conference champions, you can do it.
No, dude. That's next year.
Yeah, that's not this year. Next year.
So what do you mean?
Duck season for $2. Penix fumbled the ball. Pac-12 ref can rest in peace. Well, the problem for you is Washington was the better team. Washington is the better team. Bo Nix played one of the worst games of the season, and Michael Penix did not. You got beat by a better team.
And I did not think that was a fumble.
And Dan Lanning should be apologizing and refunding season ticket deposits because he beat you 2 games in a row against Washington. I think he was terrible again. I think the play calling was terrible again. I think your defense was out of position on several critical situations. And I think that you should probably, and again, this is just my opinion.
Lil Monty over here.
You should probably learn how to run the ball against Washington's front 7 because you got physically dominated up front.
Stay hard.
It had nothing to do with a fumble that wasn't a fumble, even though, again, you're going to say you got screwed by the refs because it couldn't possibly be Washington was a better team. And they beat you twice in a row.
Have a nice day.
Because they were the better team. Pretty cut and dry. UW fan Jim, if Duck cries in the rain, does anyone care? They don't. They don't. Tarrant County, Pete. Hey, Pete.
Oh, God.
FSU is this year's Cincinnati.
Oh, God.
The committee has learned their lesson on perfect records against lesser competition.
On to Cincinnati.
But again, I don't think this has anything to do with their competition. It is very clear when you have a true freshman who looked terrified, speaking of pissing himself, he looked terrified, and you couldn't throw the ball 55 yards.
How?
You're not one of the 4 best teams in the country.
But wait, you have all your running backs, right? Because this is the defense. Hey, we've got our defense, and we've got our Keon Coleman's and our Johnny Travis, and we've got our running backs. But you only put up, what was it, 16 points? And threw for 55
16-6 in one of the worst games I've ever watched at a championship level.
So if you were such a complete team and such a dominant team, as I believe it, your AD said, we had a dominant performance in the ACC championship game.
Johnny Wilson, 2 catches, 21 yards.
Jesus, that is the most dominating thing I've never seen.
Keon Coleman, 4 for 19 yards. And so I'm just going to be redundant again. If Jordan Travis was healthy and you won this game, my guess is you probably would have scored twice as many points.
Yeah, you're probably 35 points in this game.
And you'd be in the college football playoff.
Yes.
That simple. It has nothing to do with people hating Florida State, even though they do.
Nothing to do with Cincinnati or ESPN colluding.
Just saying. You can't, when you look at Florida State, and here's something else that Florida State fan on Twitter did not want to talk about yesterday. What's the big win for you? Well, non-con, it's LSU. Okay, LSU, the amazing LSU Tigers, who were a 3-loss team this year. That doesn't help you, right? So then it's Southern Miss, Clemson on the road, decent, not great win. Clemson was a 4-loss team. Syracuse, Duke was a 5-loss team. Wake, Pitt, Miami, directional Alabama, Florida, who you struggled to beat. And again, I would remind you that Florida, Urban, they're not coming through that door anytime soon. I mean, not to be the bearer of bad news, they're a 7-loss team. And you almost became their not 7th, like the 6-6.
By the way, if you're such a great team, even though you looked awful against Florida, but if you're such a great team, prove it. Georgia's coming. You're meeting Georgia in Florida, right? Hard Rock Stadium, Miami. Show me that you can lose by less than 20 to that team, because I'm telling you that ain't happening. That team's putting 40 on you. I am confident in that. You think that team's just going to roll in there and be like, yeah, man, we got Sabinated, so season's over. You think they're not looking to prove a point? Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yep. Tom Dean, Sagarin Computer strength of schedule, Texas 4, Washington 5, Bama 12, Michigan 56, Florida State 61. Yeah. Get the computers out.
Great, dude. Cool. We don't use computers anymore. Get over it. We don't use computers anymore. We have a college football playoff committee that is subjective and is tasked with getting the 4 best teams. And by the way, that argument doesn't hold up for Florida State, because Florida State's 55th in the nation for strength of schedule. So that doesn't exactly work for you.
This comes down to human beings made a decision that you don't like. That's what it is. Dakota Tubbs, Eli Drinkwitz, who I thought really embarrassed himself. I thought after the season that Missouri had, I feel like he humiliated himself. I truly, truly do. Has Connor Stallions on speed dial. He made a joke about, I just think it's embarrassing, dude. That was not Missouri's finest moment. You're going to play Ohio State, so you're going to take a jab at Michigan. I don't know that. Maybe I don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I could be wrong. I didn't get the sense he was even trying to take a jab at Michigan with it.
Oh, please.
I think what he was doing is he was merely pointing out that, hey, we're playing Ohio State. Let
It's
me make a
Connor
joke about it.
Stallions calling. I have to go.
Yeah, he was making a joke about, hey, we're playing Ohio State, and he was joking about the whole situation.
I thought it was in bad form. I thought it was in bad form. Again,
I mean, there haven't been, to your point, there haven't been a lot of other coaches that have brought up
because you don't talk about it.
Even the name Connor Stallions.
Because nobody's perfect. Nobody's clean. Eli, what skeletons are in your closet? Like you just don't do that. I thought it was in bad form. But again, I have no sense of humor and I'm old, remember? And I'm supposedly Mormon. I'm not.
You don't always have to be negative.
And I'm going to die soon. Don't forget that part too. Appreciate you. If FSU wants to blame your commissioner. He was one of 3 that voted to start the 12-team playoff next year. You could add a 12-team playoff this year, by the way. And the ACC voted against it. So FSU will get 0 credit for beating an unmotivated Georgia team in the bowl, MJ Bissett says. Well,
I got news. I don't think they're unmotivated, my man.
I don't think Georgia's unmotivated at all. I could be wrong. Midnight Magic Musings, a member for 6 months on the show.
Let's go, baby.
When can we talk Liberty Bowl?
Why are we talking? Why, dude?
I actually
that's not
think
gonna happen.
some of the Liberty or some of the bowl matchups this year have been very good. And I would appreciate it if you would call it the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. With Memphis and Iowa State. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I just saw the AutoZone banner. It is what it is, right? Eric Wasikowski from
Wasikowski.
He's from Plymouth Canton.
Yeah.
The Jets versus Falcons was more entertaining. Let's not get carried away.
Hey, we're focused on the Jets today.
Let's not get carried away. Did you guys hear that Zachy Poo is begging the Jets to let him get another shot at quarterback? Begging.
Yes.
You can beg, my man, but I don't think they're going to give you a shot. I don't. I mean, the only shot you should probably be after is from BuckedUp, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. BuckedUp Energy, the official energy product you guys know by now, is Buckshot. And our fine friends at BuckedUp also gave us an extension on the sample. We've given so many people 6 free samples of Buckshot, which, elite ingredients, 200 milligrams of naturally sourced caffeine. So it's not chemicals that create a reaction similar to caffeine, which you can find in many other energy shots. No. 200 milligrams naturally sourced caffeine with a bunch of brain food that gives you a nice little rise mentally so you can get through that last pivot table on your Excel spreadsheet, that last big presentation, the sales meeting. You got to go pick the kids up, and maybe you're a little short on patience today. Hit a Buckshot 20 minutes before you pick the kids up. You're going to feel great. You're going to do great. Buckshot is designed so that you can have your best day every day. Usually 20 minutes ago, but every day at this time on the show, we pop when the spin is strong. Yeah. BuckedUp Energy, the presenting sponsor of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship over this past weekend. That takes some balls.
I don't have those balls.
Did you guys see some of the visuals out of the BKFC, it's called?
I'll drop that motherfucker.
Put on some gloves. That is that is amazing. But get in the description below. Get your 6 free Buckshots. They'll send them right to your front door for free. Hook it up, BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off at checkout. I admittedly am a little turned up from the weekend on this Florida State story.
Well, it's just we've never really seen this, I don't feel like, to this level. It's becoming more commonplace for, it's almost like we have a corporate company, employment tree happening in each of these states where it's like, oh, senator, AD, head coach, quarterback, all putting out statements. Like, great, dude, you can put out 100 statements. It's not changing the result. And by the way, the other thing that I think is funny, they're all asking for transparency and we demand answers. Did he not go on TV and tell you exactly why? Did he not say, hey, Jordan Travis is injured and we felt like that really hurt the Seminoles' ability on offense. And we felt like because of that, Texas and Alabama were better candidates for the college football playoff this year. Did he not explicitly say that? He did. So what do you mean you want transparency? You got transparency.
I want the truth.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
he said Liberty Flames. Did he really say Liberty? Oh, I'm sorry. You did. When can we talk Liberty football? Well, they're going to the Fiesta Bowl against Dan Lanning and his poor clock management.
dude.
Because it's garbage.
I like Dan Lanning's spirit, but that would make me crazy. That is the Verbo Fiesta Bowl,
Dude,
which
get
is
it right.
January 1st. In Tempe. That's going to be interesting. In Glendale, Arizona, at the Cardinal Stadium, State Farm Stadium.
Oh, darn. It's not at Mountain America Credit Union Field.
No, Oregon's a 14.5-point favorite.
But they suck. Why would, they're terrible.
I feel like Liberty had a great season, and that's all over with now. Maybe you can be Tulane from last year.
That's fucking interesting, man.
Maybe you can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be fun to see. Let's see. C Black gives us
Here we
two
go.
more
Here we go.
dollars.
Okay, learn me, please.
FSU beat UGA, then what? But they didn't beat Georgia. Sorry, we got it wrong.
So you're saying if
they do beat Georgia, well, I mean, I would have to look at the line, but I'm gonna guess Georgia's a heavy favorite in that game because you're not getting Louisville and you're not getting Jack Plummer, with all due respect.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that you are, and I'm looking up the number on the Orange Bowl right now, 14.5 points in Miami Gardens, Florida. Florida State is a 14.5-point dog. Here's the other problem. It's suggested by the boys in Vegas you're going to lose by 14.5. So the number is going to be in the 60s or 70s, right? No, how's 45.5 sound? So if you're going to lose, they're basically saying, yeah, we think Georgia's going to score 30 and you're going to score maybe 15.
Tell you what, let's go back to the comment. Tell you what, if you want us, I'll agree to this. You want us to say we got it wrong if Florida State beats Georgia, which is never going to happen. But let's say it did. When Georgia beats the hell out of Florida State, which is going to happen, you better be in here the next show we do talking about how, I got it wrong and I'm a Florida State homer. Oh, that's right.
What happens when Georgia beats the hell out of Florida State?
Oh, you're going to be nowhere to be found. You forgot we were doing a show, at 3:00 Mountain Standard Time. You forgot. I get it.
What?
I get it.
We're not going to lose.
I get it.
What? Let's see. Josh Holt. Hi, Josh. If FSU really feels this badly about it, they should boycott their bowl and name themselves national champions.
That's the best comment of the day so far. Just
Kevin
saying.
the Destroyer. Jackson Arnold is better freshman this year. Jackson Arnold is better. I think, and I don't want to speak off the top of my head. Let me look up them numbers.
We'll go to numbers.
I think Jackson, let's see. You can do it.
But according to Florida State fan, numbers don't matter. I mean,
I think Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold is a good quarterback. I think if you believe it's going to be easy to replace Dylan Gabriel, I think you should stop huffing paint. Because if my internet was not terribly slow, I will speak off the top of my head. I believe he only played in one game. I'm pretty certain 1 or 2 games. Like, it's a very small sample size, Jason Kuhn, Monty, the ESPN Disney not owning the college football playoff and pays the committee is ridiculous. Well, they don't own, nobody said they own it. They're partners, right? Because the college football playoff is on the ESPN family of networks. So they're partners. I'll read them. Kurt is doing his spin doc job, PR job. You fall for it. But is he wrong? So when Kirk Herbstreit says their job, which everybody agrees with. Your job is to put the 4 best teams in the college football playoff. Again, I'm just asking you, because this is Kirk Herbstreit. This is him spinning, right? Like he couldn't possibly be telling the truth, or is he?
So as a guy who calls these games, I don't want to do the right thing. If you talk to Bill Hancock, and we had lots of meetings about this, they're not supposed to do the right thing. They're supposed to, their job is to put the best 4 teams in the playoff. Now, again, it's subjective. Who you think and I think are the best 4 are different, and that's fine. But that's what that group is supposed to do. Not what do we think about ratings? That's bullshit. Put the fucking best 4 teams in the game.
So wait, Kirk Herbstreit is spinning. So he just said, well, they should not be concerned about ratings. Put the 4 best teams in. So you're saying that's not what he means. He means be worried about ratings. So that's
bullshit.
So you're saying again, and I know I'm the master of the obvious here. I'm not very bright.
Right.
Right? Just little old Monty from Chicago.
Right.
I'm just asking. You're saying that Florida State isn't of national interest and wouldn't draw ratings. Because that if he's spinning, that's what, because you're saying they're only doing this for ratings. So Florida State, because of the ratings, they don't want Florida State in. Those would be low numbers. When the truth is, the selection process, really, their only mission is to put the 4 best teams in the college football playoff. That's their stated goal. So they don't consider ratings. And even if they did, can you make a case that, because Florida State draws fine.
If they were considering ratings, wouldn't Ohio State be in?
It's remarkable to me. The conspiracy theories around this whole thing are just, it's incredible. It is incredible. It is incredible. Paulo for $20. Did you see Michigan's reaction to having to play Bama instead of cakewalk over Florida State by 30? Let's see how they do against Georgia. I think it's very telling. Did you guys see that all the Michigan people were in the ballroom and they're like, all right, here come the Seminoles.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loosen up your wrists. We got to clap nice and loud, Wolverine Nation. All right, somebody get Connor on FaceTime. He's got to be part of this. The number 4 team, Alabama. What the? They were not happy to say, oh, I love the audible. Oh, like, oh. Get Connor on the phone. Connor, where's the tape of Bama? Right? Like, that's what. And then they were like, hey, you guys, we got to clap. Oh.
I know redos.
Free Harbaugh. They were having seizures trying to clap. They were so unhappy. Well, TCU was just an aberration. We're going to beat the hell out of the Florida State Roll Tide.
That'd be America's team.
No, you're not. That's going to be, is there anybody that's going to be rooting for Michigan? I'm not sure. Midnight said, no, I mean the Liberty Flames in the Fiesta Bowl, as we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
As we discussed. I think it's going to be fascinating. I truly do. I think
you better not get embarrassed by Georgia, dude. I'm just telling you now.
Yeah. You guys, everybody hit the like button while we tell you hour number 2 of the Monty Show is presented by our good friends at TryDayTrading.com. TryDayTrading.com. I am so thrilled to be in their program, to be working through their systems, to learn their processes, to learn their software. It's the money's legit. And so many people ask me, Monty, hey, Monty, isn't day trading a scam, Uncle Monty? It's not. Every single day, you get into the system, and for $10 charitable donation, for a $10 charitable donation, you guys, you get a 30-day free trial of their program. TryDayTrading.com. Their full-time graduates are making $1,000 a day on average. The people who do it as a side hustle, it's not their only income. The side hustle people who do it for 90 minutes in the morning, then they go to work, come home and count their bread, they're making $300 to $500 a day, you guys. That's real money that pays off your car, pays off your student loans, gets you out of that credit card debt. And I'll continue to say it. Whatever it is you complain about in your life, the answer is Try Day Trading. Hey, I'm frustrated. I can't afford to buy a house. I'm stuck in an apartment. Try daytrading.com. You need a bigger down payment. Try daytrading.com. My credit score is low because I have all this credit card debt. Try daytrading.com. It is that simple. It will take you to a different level of financial capability, and it's going to cost you a $10 trial membership to figure that out. What do you spend $10 on every day? What did you spend $10 on today? Lunch, gas, like a bottle of water. I mean, I'm telling you, save $10, get your 30-day trial membership right now at trydaytrading.com. And the best part about it is when you graduate their program and you're ready to start trading full time, you trade with TriDay Trading's money. They open up a trading account, they fund it for you, and then you, my friends, trade with their money. And when you make money with their money, you get 80% of the profit. You're like, I don't want to trade with their money. I want to trade with my money. Great, do it. You can put your own money in. You're trading with your own money. You don't give them any of it. You got 100% of the profit. But you can stay in their program for a week, a month, a year, 10 years, 100 years. It's totally up to you at trydaytrading.com/Monty. Let's run through some of your comments because I know how passionate you guys are about the college football playoff. Jeff Woodward, thank God it's not Florida State versus Iowa in a bowl game. Battle of the punters. How do you keep Kirk Ferentz as the head coach at Iowa? That's amazing to me. And I think one of the more fascinating conversations right now, speaking of bowl games and teams not in the bowl games, Jake and I had an interesting argument in the pre-show meeting about Ryan Day. And should Ohio State fire Ryan Day as their football coach? I want to play this video for you first. Ryan Day talking about his decision to kick a field goal in the big game against Michigan. And listen to the back and forth that he had with this reporter talking about that very play.
You know, you look back on a couple of decisions you make and you say, well, you know, for instance, you know, at the end of the first half, you know, if we make the field goal, you know, you probably feel better about that decision. You know, 4th and 2, 30 seconds to go. Maybe if, you know, we get a couple more first downs, a shorter field goal, or maybe even have a chance to, you know, score a touchdown there. But I felt like at the time it was a good decision. And I think if we make the field goal, it's a better decision. But when you don't, you come up short. Certainly, you know, you second guess all those things.
4th and 2, you want to be aggressive. Is that a fair generalization of how you want to coach and you want your team to play? I think knowing that, I think a lot of us were struck by that you didn't go for it on 4th and 2. You just brought it up.
Yeah.
Do you wish you would have gone for it? Do you think you should have?
Well, since we missed the field goal, yeah.
I mean, you guys don't. It's a 52-yard field goal. You don't make a ton of 50-yarders.
I felt like we had the wind, and he was kicking pretty good, and, you know, he had plenty of leg. But, yeah, we missed it. So, ultimately, you know, we probably need to, you know, get a couple more first downs and add to the field goal there. Yeah.
Ryan Day being questioned. Holy moly, how dare you? Ryan Day being questioned by the assembled media in Columbus. And I think it's a very, very interesting look inside the Ohio State football program. And, Jake, the question is Ryan Day the right guy to Ohio State?
I think currently he is. I would not fire Ryan Day. I agree with the criticism, certainly. You're not beating Jim Harbaugh in Michigan nearly enough, of course. You know, you're not getting the college football playoff enough, of course. But really, when we take a look at Ohio State's program, the key issue is recruiting. The key issue is talent. You didn't beat Michigan this year. You kicked a field goal on that 4th down play because you didn't believe in Kyle McCord. I haven't believed in Kyle McCord all year. Anybody with half a brain knows you're not beating anybody with Kyle McCord as your starting quarterback. And I don't want to hear any of this nonsense about, oh, well, he's a prolific game manager. He can help you win ball games. This sport is a make or miss sport in the sense of you either have a quarterback or you don't. And they didn't. And that's on Ryan Day. And so for me, my biggest thing here is that I do believe in Ryan Day's ability to go out and recruit. I just think he didn't get the job done this time. And my biggest struggle with, hey, go ahead and fire Ryan Day is you don't have guys who are the caliber of head coach he is, which is a college football playoff caliber head coach. Those guys aren't just out there falling off trees. And I understand that, hey, you shouldn't just keep someone because there's not a replacement. But what I'm simply saying is that you can go from college football playoff caliber football program to struggling to make a bowl game real quick. Ryan Day is the reason currently Ohio State is where they are. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing. He's the reason they struggle. He's also the reason they're in the Big Ten, in that game with Michigan, trying to get to the Big Ten championship game. So it goes both ways. But my biggest thing is if I was running Ohio State, if I was the AD and the president, I would not be firing Ryan Day. But what I would be saying is, hey, we're going year by year from here on out. You got to at least be getting into the college football playoff at a minimum to stay, especially with the expanded format. So that's where I am at with Ryan Day right now.
Yeah, and I think it is one of those situations where you look at the transfer portal. I mean, you look at the names. I don't know that I've ever seen this volume of quarterbacks in the portal. I told you last week, and everybody in Boise got all upset. Taylor Green's in the transfer portal. Even though they won the conference championship and he was a big part of that, he's in the portal. Solche Maava from BYU in the portal. You look at Nate Johnson from Utah in the portal, the pig farmer, right? Bryson Barnes in the portal. There's just so many guys.
Dylan Gabriel
in the portal today. And I think you have the opportunity to transform your guys like Drew Pine, right? Like you have legitimate options in the transfer portal. Like I cannot, it's 4 pages of quarterback names that are in the portal. It's remarkable to me. And obviously at Ohio State, like Blake Shapen's not an option at Ohio State.
No,
he's not. But if you get to Dylan Gabriel, if you get to some of the bigger names that are in the portal, there's no doubt that you can have a real transformative Cam Ward, who I think ends up at Oregon.
Will Howard.
Will Howard is a great fit. Dante Moore is a great fit. You look at the name DJ Uiagalelei is a great fit.
So if you're the brass at Ohio State after this season, this is why I'm advocating for this. Hey, dude, we didn't get it done this year. You yourself in your own press conferences said we didn't get it done this year. And now you went ahead and ran out Kyle McCord after you thought it would be a good idea to stand up in that very same press conference and talk about the fact that, oh, Kyle's a great quarterback. And, he made a lot of progress. Is that why we see him in the portal today? No, we see him in the portal today because he's not good enough. So when I can look at the portal and I can say Dylan Gabriel, Will Howard, Cam Ward, all these dudes that can go out and sling it much better than the guy you had, you better go out and get a grade A number 1 workhorse quarterback, or we're probably going to make a move next year. Like that's what my messaging would be.
Yeah. Spangler, more like the Big Ten should cancel their championship game. Okay. Kevin the Destroyer says Kansas 11. All right. Jim Choi, when Georgia boat races FSU in the Orange Bowl, the committee will be justified.
Absolutely.
James says, in reality, if FSU wins, the people who vote for the AP could vote for Florida State. Actually, they cannot. It is the designated national champion of college football specifically comes from the college football playoff. It's the same thing in the NCAA tournament. It's just not possible.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
You have a designated process to name the national champion of college football. In the AP, that one of the main reasons you have the college football playoff is because of the instability and the lack of credibility in the AP poll. It's one of the biggest things. Oh, but now we've, thanks to Florida State, said that the college football playoff is forever damaged and lacks credibility.
And this is my other point. We're doing this about Florida State. Like, with all due respect, even when you're healthy, you're not the best team in the country. You're a top 5 team in the country, I think, by anybody's standard.
I would
if
agree.
You want to say, hey, you're a top 4 team, okay, fine. That's cool. We can argue the merits of that when you're 100%. But I'm definitely not going to sit here and say you're better than even Michigan. You have to show me you're better than Michigan. And yeah, I do think based on how outraged you've been the last couple of days, I expect you to go out and beat Georgia. Because if you want to be that outraged, then live up to the expectations. Hey, we're a better team than Alabama, so you should be able to beat Georgia then, right? And all the Florida State fans are like, oh, Georgia's not interested. Okay, great. Go out and boat race them. Drop 30 on them. Yeah. You have this great defense you keep talking about. Hold them to 21. Yeah. Show us.
Yep, the Big Lubbock. Wow, the Big Lubbock is back.
Wow.
Where were you? 57-7.
Oh, but the altitude doesn't matter. You think we forgot what you said? You think we forgot?
57-7.
Right.
Been a
That's
minute.
bullshit.
Are we talking Cal versus Texas Tech in the, what is the name of their bowl? It's the what is the name of their bowl?
It's the Not High Enough Bowl.
Radiance Technology Independence Bowl, where Texas Tech's a 3-point favorite in Shreveport. That game is only in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. Can
Hey,
you believe that?
are you gonna eat your crow, bud? Can you show us how to lose with grace? Can you just say, I got it wrong with Tech?
Just saying. RJC, man, what's up? Good to see you. FSU pissed off East Coast, West Coast, old money, lesson to be learned, but those fools want to play victim. Dude, I think one of the main talking points on Florida State today is the hypocrisy of Florida State. When you're trying to break a lock-solid grant of rights and you are trying to well up support in your conference for a mutiny, and then the College Football Playoff Committee follows rules and processes, and you wound up on the outside looking in, and now you're going to say they have zero credibility. Well,
or maybe you're the one that doesn't have credibility based on how you're responding.
So are you just going to give the money back then? Or are you, when you you're not going to play in your bowl game, right? And you're not going to go to the College Football Playoff next year, right? Well, I mean, because you can't possibly be seen with such an unethical group of folks, such as in the College Football Playoff.
Hell no.
Oh, we could never. Here at Florida State, we built this program on NIL.
Mm-hmm.
We would never associate.
We built this program on NIL.
With such unethical people like the College Football Playoff.
And that's how I look at it.
Those floozies. Please. I'm going to guess you're not returning that money.
Better send those refunds.
Pretty sure that wire transfer is going through. Mike Smith. Dillon Gabriel, one of the main reasons Oklahoma beat Texas, does not mean you cannot replace him, but no need to diminish what he did for your team just because he's leaving.
Agreed. Have some class.
Mike, I'm glad you said that, because in the transfer portal, most of these kids are doing exactly what you would do. Almost all of them. Almost all of them. It's remarkable. 1939 ACC championship looked like Iowa's spring game. Boring as hell. It was not good. Spangler, losing Dillon Gabriel is huge. Are you kidding me? It's massive. It is a big, you don't replace that guy. He is a dynamic performer. And I'm sure OU fans and, you don't want to talk about the statement he released. And I thought it was as classy gets. My time in the Palace was a game time experience I will never forget. Sooner Nation, you held me accountable, and I am better for it. Like a classy, really classy statement. Didn't pack his stuff and leave at midnight. It's a huge loss. I don't know how you get away from that. I think it is a huge, huge loss. Unfortunately, I just, you feel bad for him. Kevin the Destroyer. I think it was known for a while that Dillon would not start in 2024 no matter what. It was not known for a while. I completely disagree. If he wasn't your starter in 2024, he wouldn't have been your starter now. And I think it's just so convenient that we try to wreck kids. They're college football players.
There doesn't always have to be a narrative when someone hops in the portal.
It doesn't. And I don't understand why we can't be grateful and have some gratitude for what Dillon Gabriel did in Norman. Like, he was a huge part. That win, I mean, that is a massive. How do you take that away from him by disparaging him? I don't think you can do that. Boyd Lake. So is the OU OC going somewhere? Mike Smith blows me away that Gabriel's leaving. Yeah, he's gone already. He's gone. Levy's gone already. Like this is how the game works. You're not there to play for the logo. You're there to play for the guy who recruited you.
We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time, sir.
Yeah, and this is the issue at UCLA right now. Have you guys seen what's going on at UCLA with the unbelievable not firing of Chip Kelly, and talking to a lot of my SC friends, like that D'Anton Lynn got away, who is the defensive coordinator now at USC, because you didn't fire Chip Kelly. The program melted down. D'Anton Lynn winds up at USC, and he's already in home visiting all of his UCLA recruits.
Now you understand why that's such a sin, if you will, right? You cannot, if you're UCLA, be gift wrapping your defensive coordinator to Lincoln and SC in a time when Lincoln needs a defensive coordinator like nobody's business. And by the way, that defense at UCLA was not horrible. That was a physical ass defense that was here for it every week. Now, not the best defense in the country, but a capable defense.
Yes.
And that's all SC needs. SC, I swear. And we'll spend lots of time, not today, but another day, probably next season, talking about how SC needs to keep opponents to 27 points. Keep them to 27 points. You're going to win a lot of ball games.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
And so back to Dylan Gabriel, you look at Jeff Levy going to Mississippi State. That's not surprising that Gabriel's leaving. It's not surprising at all, in my opinion.
You look at Jonathan Smith to Michigan State, and I can't remember the kid's name. I have to look it up. But one of the best quarterback recruits that he had at Oregon State, who hadn't seen the field but for like 3 plays or whatever it was, going to Michigan State now. They're following their coaches. And I'm not saying that's what Dylan's doing, but you see that a lot now. And then
it's how the game works.
There's situations like Will Howard. I love my guy, Will Howard, right? But clearly, Will Howard faced some adversity at K-State this year, right? Had lost his job for a week and then got it back. And, just some adversity there. Looking for a better opportunity. To which I say, Ryan Day, get your ass on the phone and get his ass to the shoe. Because he'd be a great fit. That's the kind of guy you need. You need that. It's why CJ Stroud was so good for Ohio State. He was the guy. He embraced it. He wanted it. Like Kyle McCord just felt like a dude that was walking out there just kind of filling a spot. He never really felt like that like juggernaut of a leader on your team. And that's why I think you ultimately failed this year.
Yeah, and one member, a couple of pieces of color, like ESPN, Heather Dinich just wrote a story about the College Football Playoff Committee's decision to leave Florida State out.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, one committee member, quote, all of us had the emotional tie like, holy shit, this is really going to suck to do this. We talked about it over and over, and we just kept coming back to, are they good enough with what they have to win a national championship? And it just kept coming back to, we didn't think they could.
It's that simple.
It is that simple.
It's that simple, dude.
It is that simple. And you look at this and you look at the way this went, and I don't know how you argue with the decision when you understand they've stuck to the rule in the process. Another committee member said, quote, at the end of the day, everybody had the same goal in mind. Do we have the 4 best teams? And we all felt pretty good that we do. That was their job, to put the 4 best teams in. And what Florida State doesn't want to talk about, and I think a lot of fans don't want to talk about it. Again, tell me why Florida State, it's unjust when they followed the process in the letter of the law, according to the College Football Selection Committee process, which is if you are injured, we can take that into account, which is exactly what they're saying. Well, Monty, what else do you want them to say? I want them to say whatever it is they're saying, and I'm going to take them at face value. Well, of course you would. Well, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? 4 more years, bitch. Well, why wouldn't I? I'm serious. Not everything is a conspiracy theory. Not everything is biologics. Not everything is computers.
Biologics.
And, I'm so tired of that. And
Infowars.com.
This story by Heather Dinich, I think says it exactly the way it should be said. Quote, people really wanted to talk about it. We don't really have that conversation while we're watching games, but we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. What just happened? We talked about 13-0. We talked about the teams they beat, and they were a conference champ. All of that. It took a long while. They sat around, and Again, tell me, oh, you're just a hack on YouTube.
It's
what
what
do
you
know?
always say.
It's what have I told you since the week 0 of the football season?
Yes.
This is a bunch of human beings that sit around a table and they're like, man, you see that play by Jordan Travis to beat Clemson? They're pretty good. I'm going to bump them up a spot. Well, but Clemson's really down this year and Dabo hasn't recruited. Yeah, we probably should leave them Florida State where they are. That's how this goes. Oh, man, Jordan Travis is hurt. I know they're 13-0, but can they really beat Michigan without Jordan Travis? No, they can't. No, if you're sitting in the room and somebody said to you, can they beat Michigan without Jordan Travis? And you said yes, people would laugh at you because nobody believes they can.
And I think, in the Dinich article, the question was, are they capable of winning a national championship? Let's take out the opponent's portion. Who cares who they have to play to get there, right? Are they capable with this setup, with where they are now, of winning a national championship? And the answer is no. And the problem is you have another team right behind them who so clearly is. That's the mix in the blender that screwed you, right? Not a committee, not some nefarious scheme. Hey, you don't have the goods right now because of injury to win a national championship. And Alabama did what they do best. They came in here and showed the schemers in Athens what it really is, which is we have a better defense than you, and Jalen Milroe is good enough to make that throw.
And I think there's a couple of more interesting quotes here. One committee member said, quote, people may not believe it, but we do not say, oh, gosh, if we vote this way, the SEC is going to be left out. Though that never came up ever. We literally look at teams, put them up against each other and say, who did they beat? Who did they not beat? Who have they beaten on the road? What's their strength of schedule? Look at the matrix and all the data, to which Boo Corrigan, the chair of the committee and the athletic director at NC State, said the group voted on the top 4 between 6 and 8 times, and that there was, quote, never a moment of rushing it. And one source said the conversations were almost immediately tense. Another said, quote, never got heated, never got ugly, but it was, quote, way more complicated and way more agonizing than some people may think. It's not like they're like, okay, well, Kirk Herbstreit's on the phone. He wants to give us the top 4 teams we're supposed to vote for. Go ahead, Kirk. Like, they're not talking to ESPN. They're in a essentially a lockdown room, and they're fighting their fight. And it took 6 to 8 rounds of voting. And I can tell you, one of the ways it was described to me is they sit around and they talk about, okay, well, hey, let's start with Alabama. Okay, Alabama, let's start. And they just go down the teams and let's talk Liberty. Let's, like, in their weekly votes leading up to this, they're long meetings. And the top 25 from the college football playoff, there's a lot of fighting that goes into that top 25, because it's guys like Boo Corrigan who's got to fight for teams in his conference. I don't have any problem with the way this process works, mainly because it's what people in this industry wanted.
And they got it right.
Yeah. And I got news for you. Next year, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, because more teams are going to be like, I can't believe we got screwed. How many G5 teams are absolutely going to be just up in arms next year? I can't believe. Oh, God. Jesus, it's me, Air Force. I dropped all those precision bombs in them, and you won't put me in the college football playoff?
You're so fucked.
How many G5 teams? Oh, God. It's Boston State. I'll change the blue turf. Just put me in. You know that's going to happen.
Yes.
I'll change the blue turf. Lord, hear me.
Can we please get Hank back at quarterback?
Oh, Jesus, you're in our end zone. I thought you were a fan of the Irish. That's going to happen. I think the G5 is going to be just so angry next year. So angry.
Stop crying like a little girl.
Oh my God. They're going to be so angry. It will be wild. What? Because I don't think this, and I shouldn't say this out loud,
dude.
I don't think a 12-team playoff and a 5-7 helps the G5. You're going to get a spot.
It's what I always say about the G5.
But dudes,
which way you want to get piped? Which way? Because it's going to happen.
If you look at this right here, you guys, if you look at this right here, let's just say Oklahoma, Ole Miss, everybody above 12 are in. Are you really telling me the Fighting Fafitas aren't going to be like, they took our water and now they won't give us a college football playoff spot?
Heck, 10.
Did you guys not watch Fafita? What? You want to get us fajitas? Noah!
Yeah.
Noah's Ark? I thought you guys didn't have any water down there, boy.
No.
That's
what it is.
What do you say to Iowa? Well, you guys might want to play. Do you guys play offense?
A lot.
Or you guys just play defense? You just punt. First down punting. Is that what you guys do in Iowa? Them Hawkeyes sure are interesting that way. Right? Like, the committee would want Notre Dame and they want those TV ratings. Notre Dame would be 16th in a 12-team playoff.
God bless.
That would be wild. Absolutely wild. Anyway,
dude,
it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse.
Do you know what that's like these days?
Yeah. How about Liberty at 23? They wouldn't put us in because we're a Christian-based university. Pricks. May the Lord have mercy on your soul, Boo Corrigan. You traitor. The Chevy Camaro 24 Liberty Flame Chevy Camaro is coming for you, boy. You know it.
You do. Then there's Tarrant County.
SMU. Listen, how can you not put us in? Look at all this money. We are Dallas. We're all half. We're a bunch of all, too. J.R. Ewing went here. How dare you? Anyway, I'll stop.
All right.
It's gone too far now. It's gone too far. It's gone too far. It is what it is. And I don't feel bad. Hey, are you playing Prize Picks with us? Get in the description below, prizepicks.com. Use the promo code Monty. Big giveaway this week. We want to give you, it's Christmas, and you guys know we talk about this all the time. Huge prize this week around. And next week as well, but we'll announce what next week's pseudo contest is. We'd like to give you a $100 Amazon gift card just in time for Christmas. Here's all you have to do. You sign up for Prize Picks, use the promo code Monty, make your first deposit, $10, $1 million, whatever you want. DM your deposit screen to Jake.
Yeah.
You're entered to win the $100 Amazon gift card, which we will announce Friday at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Friday at this time on the show, we will give away a $100 Amazon gift card.
Yes.
All you have to do is sign up for Prize Picks, new deposits only, new signups only. Now, here's the catch. If you are a member of the show, if you're an entry-level member, which means you pay $1.99 a month, you get 5-to-1 entries for signing up at Prize Picks. If you are a members only content, you're in the Instagram group. We announced it already this morning in the Instagram group. Jake almost got thrown in prison over it.
Right.
If you are a member of the members only content, you get
10-to-1.
10-to-1 entries. We always give our members, the people that support this show, we always give you more entries to win. So all you have to do, and hey, if you're not a member, maybe you don't want to be. Maybe you, like Jake, think I'm fat. Okay, that's fine.
I've never called you fat.
Big Bone, same thing.
I know.
You can you can sign up for Prize Picks, use the promo code Monty, or just click the link in the description below. Make a deposit, send us a screenshot. You're entered to win. You get one entry into the contest to win the $100 Amazon gift card. Or you can subscribe to the show, you can hit the like button, and then you can join the membership. You get 5-to-1 for the entry level. You get 10-to-1 for the members only content. Sign up, Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy in the business. I have won 3 in a row, 3 out of 4. I am red hot in Prize Picks. I won $100 on Friday night.
I'm going in tonight, dude.
And I'm crushing it right now. I love it. It's super easy at prizepicks.com. I don't think we have today's in there. We may not even have an old
I got
one.
you right here.
But all you have to do is you take a player, whether like Monday Night Football tonight, Trevor Lawrence, you can say, hey, more or less passing yards than 279.
Right.
Is he going to have more or less? You pick more or less, and if he gets more than that number, hey, man, you're in business. You win. If he gets less than that number, you don't win. It's that simple.
Now, I've been on a heater lately, so I have some extra moolah to play with.
I've been on a heater lately.
I have some extra moolah to play with, so I'm taking advantage of this, doing what I shouldn't be doing.
Jason Tatum and Calvin Ridley combined for 8 or more.
Yes.
Or less. 8 is the number. Are they going to have more or less than 8 3-pointers made in receptions? That's more. That's a slam dunk. Malik Monk for the Kings. Jake's going 15 points because, again, when it's 14 and a half, you have to have 15 if you selected more. Kevin Durant. Ooh, I don't like this one at all. Against the Lake Show. That's tomorrow. So you have a 2-day. You have a 2-dayer working. 28 and a half. So Kevin Durant's going to have 29 against the Lakers. And then Damian Lillard will have to have 3 turnovers, and you went more.
Which he's had like 4 out of the last 5 games.
Now, Jake is breaking a major rule of engagement on the Monty Show.
I am.
As somebody who actually wins money on Prize Picks, you should take my advice. Never play anything more than 3. Play a 3-pack. You go to 4 or 5, your success numbers go way down. Play 3. You're editing your entry.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at how many times I've won out of the last several.
How many have you won?
1, 2, 3, 4 out of my last 5.
Nice.
Out of my last 6, 7. So I'm about 500.
Yeah, you had a real.
I'm 5 out of 8 right now.
Jake had a real cold streak on Prize Picks. So
I learned my lesson. I now have my certain strategies, but yeah, it's a very simple proposition.
I'm just telling you, boys. All you have to do, sign up for Prize Picks, make a deposit, take a screenshot, send it to Jake, SLC Jake on Twitter or Instagram. You're entered to win the $100 Amazon gift card Friday at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Boss Frog is entered to chat. Larry Hagman, who played J.R. Ewing, boy, was born and raised in Fort Worth, not Dallas. Was South Fork Ranch in Fort Worth? My bad.
Dude, can you get your geography right, man?
Yeah, I'm a terrible person. I am. Tom Dean says, Jake, Monty, I've never called you fat as far as you know. Exactly. Exactly. He wasn't calling me fat when I was hitting the flipping driver 300 yards yesterday.
Fat.
Absolutely eviscerating golf balls. Grocock's fake account number 10.
Hiscock.
I love that we've started numbering them.
The Grocock legend continues on the show. Time to get myself a fake gift card. Okay.
It's not a fake gift card. It's not at all. I sent it out to Woodworth last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let me double check who that was.
Anybody who wins knows it's real. Dank Climbs, $2. Students should forfeit NIL for bowl opt-out. They should not. Students should never have to pay for doing what's best for themselves. And this argument happens every year. He should lose his scholarship. No, he shouldn't. He should actually make sure he stays healthy in a game that's absolutely meaningless to his career in the NFL. He should, Caleb Williams. Why would Caleb Williams play in the bowl game? Anybody got a good? Go ahead. You guys. You go ahead. There's
you want to explain that?
Yeah, there's no damn good reason for him to play in a bowl game. There's not. And you can hate it, but Mike Smith, gifted a Monty Show member.
Let's go, baby.
Appreciate you.
By the way, I on my Prize Picks there. Yeah, I made the unfortunate decision to power play that one on accident. So now we got to go 4-4.
We quite literally we had a big meeting today, and we drove back. We were driving back to the Studio de Monty. And
Studio de Casa Monty.
I literally said to Numbnuts over here, I said, hey, man. I said, hey, Nummy, I'm trying to tell you, do what the old man says. I actually have real world experience. What have I told you, Jake?
Because it's illegal.
Never more than 3 selections, and you always flex.
That's why you power played?
Well, because I had a slam dunk, though.
Having fun is the name of the game.
I was red hot. It was a heat check and paid off for $100.
Hear me out. I know I'm stupid, but hear me out.
Okay, wait.
Just
Hold on.
Get ready.
The Jake stupid take of the day.
Yeah. So I power played because I had won, an extra
Daddy,
amount
I need
of funds,
a loan.
and I felt like
Just
I had
$10.
some disposable income.
Give me that $10. I promise you, I'll pay it off on Brad Pitt. Help me, Daddy. Dude, you never power play.
Please.
Unless it's like the Calvin Ridley one.
It's a fact that I've never won a power play.
You're done. Mike Smith, who do you want to win it all, and who do you think will win it all? I want Washington, but I think Bama. I think Bama's got the better first round matchup. I think we're gonna see Bama in Texas.
I think Texas's offense versus Bama's defense is the matchup we as college football fans deserve.
Yeah. I choose violence.
Yeah.
Logan, every FSU fan should be rooting for Michigan. A title that will be vacated and nobody will be happy. Oh, they took our title. Oh, Jimmy, come back, Jimbo. There's a lot of smoke, and I hope it's true.
Please.
Vince Lombardi in heaven, if you can hear me. Tom Landry, if you can hear me, sir. Please let Jim. Oh, hey there, Mr. Hallis. Good to see you.
Hey, guys.
Mr. Hallis, please let Jim Harbaugh take that job with the should-be Wales Vagina Los Angeles Chargers who play at Rams House. If you could just let him go work for those losers, the Spanos family, please, God. I mean, Mr. Hallis.
Get the fuck.
No. I know. Okay, sir. Virginia's still looking hot down here these days, sir.
All right, next comment.
All right. Dank Climbs. No.
Dank Climbs.
Clark or C Black.
Oh, learn me. Okay, I'm ready. I've got my notebook out. Here we go. Okay.
C Black.
Go Black.
Go Tigers. For $5. Committee basically told the ACC, told you the ACC doesn't matter. We don't matter. Oh, God. We built this program on NIL for you, ma'am.
We built this program on NIL in God's name, image, and likeness.
Committee basically told the ACC it doesn't matter. Rip to the ACC. FSU, Clemson, UNC, Virginia, Miami is headed to the Big Ten. Oh, wow.
It's probably different than what you're thinking, though.
Can you tweet that story to me? I hadn't seen that story yet, that they're all headed to the Big Ten. If you could just let me know that.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Hey, C Black, you know who told the ACC they don't matter? I know. Put your hands at 10 and 2, my guy. You know who told them? Florida State, when they started with lawyers trying to break the grant of rights.
Yeah,
they're the ones.
All that bully ball that they rolled out early in the year.
This is ridiculous, and we're not making the same money the Gators are. Rock chalk Gator talk. What is this?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Assholes! Like, we're out of here.
Hey, but sir, we have that grant of rights. I don't know if you've read that.
No, I haven't. Give it to the lawyers. Tell them to find a way out.
Sir, they've been trying for 17 years.
Empty. The opposite of full.
And that's just the first, quarter of the length.
Length.
It's a 68-year grant of rights.
Can you measure it?
Which and I know this is C Black. I don't want to hurt your feelings. Florida State signed that grant of rights. They knew it was a 69-year grant of rights. I know. Florida State's a victim.
We really did.
Did somebody forge their name on that grant of rights?
The ink isn't dry yet.
That's a felony. You guys should really look at that.
You really should call Blake Corum about that because,
You're not victims. The committee didn't say the ACC doesn't matter. You, Florida State, said the ACC doesn't matter when you tried to break the grant of rights. And then when your bloviating athletic director said, that the committee damaged the credibility of the institution. That is the college football playoff. That great institution that's been around like 15 minutes. And saddest of all, it was self-inflicted. Not all of us can be as esteemed and as intelligent as, the state school of Florida and the little panhandle Tallahassee.
Stalwartness.
Please. James, the unofficial mayor of Cowboy
Hi, this
Country.
is James. Welcome back.
Good thing you didn't take the wife to that game, huh? Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I know you're the mayor of whatever Cowboy Country or whatever.
No, the Ollie Gordon fan club.
Yeah.
And then I love this guy. I love James. He sends a tweet, like a good friend of mine follows everything I do on Twitter. And he quite literally texts me. He's like, hey, who's this James guy? I'm like, I don't know, man. What are you talking about?
It's championship week.
Yay. He's talking about, that maybe someday you guys will recognize that we're loyal, strong, and true.
What is this? The preamble?
Guy, what are you talking about? James put, and I think you do it to pander to your Okie State friend. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude.
To your, my bad.
Dude.
I don't break the rules.
To your Oak State buddies. You'll put out these tweets where you're like, oh man, Ollie Gordon. I just want somebody to understand that Ollie Gordon's a good running back, and I want them to know that Oak State fans are hashtag loyal, strong, and true. Peace out, bitches. I went there with know that we're loyal, strong, and true.
Was it? Hey, James, was it the steer? Was it the steer? Because I'm starting to have trouble understanding, why Ollie Gordon, only managed, I believe it was 33 yards from
that was
scrimmage.
on the wait. That was on the first carry though. Third, right? He just
no, that was
whoa, no. He carved up that Texas defensive line.
Yeah,
he sliced them like a hot.
Like
what do they
hot
call
knife through a steer, bro?
Like a hot machete through a Longhorn at Okie State's farmhouse fraternity.
Oh.
Loyal, strong, and true, bro.
Yeah, loyal, strong, and true to not being Big 12 champions. Loyal, strong, and true to the Big 12 Coach of the Year who had no business being in that game.
The only moment I saw Saturday that was loyal, strong, and true in that stadium was Devondre Sweat when he was wrapped around Ollie Gordon.
I'm for real.
Suffocating that boy.
Can we talk about the biggest fumble of the entire game real quick?
I need to get a grasp of myself.
Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark out here saying Steve Sarkisian.
Hey, Steve Sarkisian. Come on up here, Sirk. Come here, sir.
So then, okay, this is the trophy. So Brett Yormark's got the trophy, and Steve Sarkisian is like, give me that damn trophy.
Steve Sarkisian.
He like yanks it out of his hands, dude.
The head coach at North Texas State, the Steers, Steve Sarkisian. And stuff is going to come on up here. Hey, Coach Circumcised.
Yeah.
Steve Circumcised. Come on over here. Let's go. All right. Foreskin everywhere. Let's do this. And then all the Texas fans are like, SEC. It was amazing. It was amazing. And you knew the minute that the Longhorns, and I know Ollie Gordon's in the building, so one snap at a time, because even though they're down 71 points, he's just one carry away from everybody being loyal, strong, and true.
He's one carry away from rerunning out the F Texas highlight on the sideline.
My God. I don't know. It's Monday, and I don't know. Jeff Woodward says Steve Sarkisian.
Brett was shook, dude.
Oh, Cougar Tracks. Whoever said Ollie was the greatest anyway. His name is Steve, the official mayor of Oak State fan.
Odix is playing well.
Gumby Fresh Out says Sarcursive.
Yeah.
That's right. AAR says Bo Nix Heisman Trophy coming up this weekend.
Bo Nix is playing well.
So about that.
I'm going to say, and again, I know that I'm crazy. I'm going to say that I
check out how this has changed, though.
I can't even say it out loud.
Look at the one right above that. Last week's Heisman odds. Right above that. Oh, Bo Nix is favorited, and some average quarterback from LSU is in second, and then we have Michael Penix. Oh, LSU's now in front, which to me is an absolute crying shame because this should be Michael Penix's trophy all day.
Yeah, I agree. You beat Oregon twice. You win the conference championship. You go to the college football playoff. Michael Penix should be the Heisman Trophy.
Yes.
James, unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country. I said Texas would win. Being loyal and true means you support your team no matter what. I'm loyal and true. Oh, T-Bone Pickens, I love you.
Yay.
Oh. Apparently, you don't know the words to our alma mater. Loyal, strong, and true to the blue all the way.
To the front yard where we get to slice away at the steer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stop. Loyal and... James, at least address, and I'll see if I can. Good luck. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. I mean, I doubt.
James, I need you to say that you were a little overhyped on Ollie Gordon, please. Just for me. Look, nobody else has to know. Okay, just put it in the comments section.
Just between us.
Just between us. Okay, and if you want a tip to say it, I'd really appreciate it. But you don't have to. We'll still find it in the thousands of comments. So. Just say, hey, you know what, guys?
I have too many notifications to go back, but I would love nothing more to it. I should have saved. I should have. But come on, James. Loyal and true, bro. Why do you tweet like that? I've always been interested in that. Like the dudes who tweet like, I just wish everybody was loyal, strong, and true. I wish. And I'm going to try and find that, but I have over 1,000 notifications just today. I'll good luck. I'm going to have trouble finding it, but I'm telling you right now, it's one of the craziest tweets I think I've ever seen. And I just, okay, we're down to yesterday now. And
I think you deleted it.
No, you can't delete it from your notifications. Did I send it to you maybe? There it is right there.
Oh, you got it?
No, I found his account.
Well, I'm looking at his account.
Oh, okay. Did he delete it?
I think you might have deleted it, dude.
You deleted it, James? Why did you delete it? Oh, why did you delete it? You never delete it. He talked about the brisket hot dogs, which is amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe you did delete. Why did you delete it, James? That would have been amazing. Yeah, we're back to November. He deleted it. James, why did you delete that?
Come on now.
That's not fun.
I took the liberty of getting your drops on the show, and now you're deleting tweets on us, dude?
Yeah, he deleted
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
Oh, I should have screen grabbed it when homie told me.
Yeah, that's kind of how Twitter works. Anytime you want something, you got to screen it.
You got to screenshot it because people delete it. But hey, listen, I give you credit for the hashtag that I guess was loyal and true now. And I'm not saying you're bad for that.
Okay, we have a little breaking news.
Oh, God.
Heisman finalists are officially out.
Okay, who is it? Well,
we have Jaden Daniels,
Uh-huh.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
No.
Yes. He is a finalist.
Okay, go ahead.
Bo Nix and Michael Penix.
Wow, that is not shocking at all. That is not shocking at all. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not shocked. Who do you think is going to win the Heisman Trophy? In all seriousness.
I think that Michael Penix will win it. And I say that only because Jaden's got 3 losses and he's not in the college football playoff. That's what I think is tough. And you didn't win your conference, obviously.
Aaron says that Taj Brooks is greater than Ollie Gordon.
Well, look, I'm not trying to do the whole who's better than who. What I'm simply saying is that the Ollie Gordon sales pitch was a hoax from the beginning.
It was over the top.
Yeah.
It was over the top. Totally over the top. Shouty says LOL. Tanner Plummer. Bummer. Your Eagles are done. I think loyal, strong, and true was trademarked by BYU. Heck, that phrase is in their fight song. Loyal, strong, and true.
God bless.
I believe that's an exact quote. That's not.
Not
their song. Jeff Woodworth, loyal, strong, and true is in everyone's fight song. I believe it is. Monty Show, cyberbullying James. Insert yay soundtrack.
damn, bro.
Yay!
Damn, Mike.
Oh, Tanner Plummer says, deleting receipts, James? That's what this has come to?
It is championship week. Yay!
Love it. OG Gary, Penix doesn't have the performance, the numbers, the stats, the TDs, all of it. Jaden lapped the whole competition. It's over. Jaden, Heisman, Daniels, soon to be New Orleans Saints QB.
Is that why he's got more losses than any of the other guys?
I think that's the thing that could hurt him, but Heisman votes are done now. So it's over. You can't vote anymore. And I think you needed to wait for championship weekend. And
Absolutely.
We'll see how many voters waited for Saturday night.
I just have a problem, especially when you're voting for a quarterback, because of how involved the quarterback is in football. I have a problem rewarding a guy whose team has 3 losses. And I get it. It's not all on him, but there were a lot of moments that were on him. Some of those interceptions, some of the big hits and fumbles, like they were never in danger of winning the SEC this year. And for me, I look at these other quarterbacks. I would not give it to Bo Nix. I definitely wouldn't give it to Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, that's right. There's one that stands out from the rest, and who has the stats? Michael Penix Jr. won his conference in the college football playoff, led his team to where you want to go. It should be really that simple, man.
And I do think the losses are worth more than the wins. And I look at Jaden lost to Florida State, and he lost to Ole Miss, and then he lost to Alabama. Those are all opportunities to have statement wins. And, obviously his big win, I think at Missouri, is a big win. That's a good win. There's no taking that away, but I think that's the only real big win that he's got. And are his stats astronomical? Well, yeah, of course they are. He's a phenomenally talented player. To have 3,812 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But you look at Michael Penix Jr. and you look at the big games. You look at the conference championship game. You look at that Michael Penix is the entirety of the reason that Washington beat Oregon twice. Well, Dan Lanning probably had more of an impact. But I'm not trying to call nobody out. But my point is, you look at Washington, that team's 13-0. They're conference champions, and their quarterback is a big reason why they are. And his numbers, 4,218 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 picks, a 66 completion percentage, 466 attempts. It's wild when you look at his numbers and you start to understand that without Michael Penix, that team is not where they are. And I'm not saying that that's not the case with Jaden. And Jaden's got a 72% completion percentage. That's amazing. Only threw the ball 327 times. I just look at, obviously the other part of his game is, well, he's also an 1,100-yard rusher, and he had 10 touchdowns rushing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy's worth 50 touchdowns. That's a hell of a season. I don't have any
doubt that Jaden's got the numbers, but at some point in the Heisman consideration, winning has to matter at some point. I'm not saying it's the beginning and the end, but certainly part of the Heisman Trophy consideration package is, hey, where'd your team finish this year? You're never giving a Heisman to an 8-win quarterback. Not that he's an 8-win quarterback or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, you would never give it to someone like that.
Yeah, and I also think that, Michael Penix is very clearly on a better team. It's hard to argue that LSU, this is not the traditional LSU defense that we're used to. This is not, frankly, this is not the offense we're used to. And I think very clearly Brian Kelly's going through a transition. They're not nearly as good this year as they were last year. And I think Michael Penix has an unbelievable defense. I think Michael Penix has I just think their system, their staff, their process is just better at Washington. Are you going to penalize a 50 touchdown guy because his head coach didn't recruit as well as another guy's head coach? I don't know that comes into consideration. But what I do know about Heisman voters, they like performances in big games. And Michael Penix beat Oregon twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the if Jaden Daniels wins, it's because he plays at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
That and you score 50 touchdowns in the SEC, and goddamn.
And look, I'll respect it if they do. The only issue I would have, again, is the 3 losses, and I feel like Penix did more against college football playoff teams.
Yep.
That's all I would say. But hey, if I don't doubt, like I'm here for the SEC is the best conference in college football. I'm here for that. I agree with that. Absolutely. But I do think that the defenses that the Pac-12 was providing were outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
Oh, I mean, the conference is very stout defensively. I don't know. I think I look at what Caleb Williams did last year at SC. And I mean, my God, he has almost the same numbers. You know, you look at that, he's got 42 touchdowns passing last year. You look at that, he's got 10 touchdowns rushing last year, 52 touchdowns. I think the biggest issue, again, is big performances, but you look at the losses for Caleb Williams last year, he won the Heisman Trophy. I mean, I think that and I think this is the argument that Pat McAfee's making for Jaden Daniels, is that you look at the history of this trophy, not everybody's a national champion. Not everybody's a conference champion. They truly value it as the best player in the country. And I think if you value it as the best player in the country, I would have no problem with Jaden Daniels winning it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be voting for Michael Penix Jr. I think the beating he took versus Oregon, especially the first time around, good God, he stood and delivered.
Absolutely.
And they went undefeated. They won their conference championship. I think it's a really interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation. So Mike Smith, loyal, strong, and true is probably in a multitude of school songs. I would agree with that. I would agree. Cougar Tracks, Ollie will win the Heisman. Easy. Adam Salamini, Heisman has nothing to do with wins and losses. Oh yeah, it does. As somebody who has worked with multiple voters, and when I was at Sporting News Radio, I was offered a Heisman vote and wasn't able to take it. Trust me when I say that the Heisman Trophy has a ton to do with wins and losses. Heisman voters want pornography. They want great throws and big moments and big performances. And I'm telling you, big wins, big performances. Why, Jaden Daniels, do you think if he wasn't a 50 touchdown guy and if he hadn't had massive I mean, have you looked at his game logs? If you look at his game logs, dude,
legit.
The performance is like, if you look at the Ole Miss game where they lost, I would remind you, 414 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air, 100 yards and a touchdown on the ground, and they lost.
In a regular season SEC game.
And they lost. 361 against Mississippi State, 346 against Florida State, and they lost early in the season. 413, 372, 17-26, 372, 3 scores through the air, 2 scores on the ground. 2 more, well, again, I don't think anybody cares about Georgia State.
The Ole Miss game is the one that's just like, dude, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, but I also think running for 130 yards at Missouri is unbelievable.
But this is the other one I look at. Look at the Alabama game. You didn't even compete in that game.
That's the one that hurts you.
219 yards?
But 163 yards rushing.
Yeah. I don't know.
He has many different ways to beat you. And whether it's 234 and 2 scores on the ground against, Florida, which is probably the performance that I would point to most, the Florida game. I mean, come on. Wins and losses.
Dude, when I'm looking at the best player, though, I'm not saying he's got to have 414 against Alabama. Give me 280, 300, 35 points and 60 yards on the ground, and you won the game. That's what I want to see.
You lost to Florida State. You lost to Ole Miss. And you lost to Alabama.
And you want to sit here and tell me that's not a bad look? That's
rough.
Man. Come on.
That's rough, man.
Come on.
And you look at the other quarterbacks. They all have huge performances and big wins.
And I think Bo Nix, you can cross him off the list just because you lost that game.
You can't lose to Washington twice.
Mm-mm.
You can't. And I think obviously this can be a very tight vote. I don't see a blowout. I think Jaden probably wins. But, you know, I have vivid memories of, you know, talking to Tim Brando about, you know, voting and what you're looking at. And, you know, like good old Peter Brown at Sporting News Radio way back in the day talking about, you know, that same process. And Peter was one of the most detailed, thoughtful people I've ever been around in sports. And he used to do work and work and work to make that decision. And I've been around guys at ESPN that have votes that it's their entire existence as a college football professional. Like they wait till most guys that I know wait till the very last moment to vote. And big performances and wins and losses absolutely matter. And I think that's the only thing that could worry you about Jaden Daniels is that you're missing those big games. And if
wins in big games.
If you look at his defense, it's just not good. And I hate to penalize a kid I would vote for Michael Penix, but again, if Jaden Daniels wins it, he earned it. And I would also point out that kid just gets his ass kicked every week because of how much he runs.
And maybe it's philosophical too. I mean, I could easily see someone saying, "Hey, the kid didn't have a defense, and he still put up all these numbers." Like, and where I would be saying, "Hey, he didn't have a defense. He should be putting up more numbers than these other schools that are more complete teams because you get more opportunities."
Yeah, totally agree. Lance Johnson for $200.
Damn. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Congrats to Texas. They whipped OSU's ass Saturday, and they would have whipped anyone Saturday, including OU. Great team with a serious chance at the national championship. Sucks, but at least the Pokes rebounded for 9 wins. Oh, a great season. A great season. And Ollie Gordon's really something to be excited about. The question is, how do you improve from Alan Bowman? How do you grow this?
You have to.
This defense is good enough. This offense is just not good enough. You have got to, and I know I've said this all year, you've got to have better skill position. And you need volume in skill position. I just point to Texas. Xavier Worthy goes out. Did they miss a beat? They didn't miss a beat. And it's because, you know, you get, you know, JT Sanders, you get, you know, all these dudes, like you lose your number one running back and you've got 3 dudes behind him. You know, you got
one
3
of which
quarterbacks.
Was your starter.
You got 3 quarterbacks. You got 5 wide receivers. You got, I think they have legitimately 8 number 1 defensive linemen. 8 number 1 defensive linemen.
CJ Baxter, Jaden Blue.
And Jaden Blue, I thought, had a huge impact on the game, especially in the first half.
Keelan Robinson.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right. I mean, you're talking about throwing Xavier Worthy in your backfield from time to time. Like, that's how deep they are, man.
And I know Tavondre Sweat gets a lot of credit on that defense, but they're loaded. They're loaded. That secondary can be, I don't know what Jahdae Barron was looking at on a couple of those plays, but their secondary.
Listen to these NFL caliber players right here. Just keep this in mind. Jalen Ford, Jahdae Barron, like you were just saying, like, obviously, Tavondre Sweat,
so good.
You know, there are a lot of these guys, man, that are just studs, man. Absolute positive studs. And I hope that they show the hell up against what would that be? Washington, is it?
Yeah.
You know, show up, win that game, go to the national championship.
Interesting. A friend of mine who's got a Heisman vote, listening to the show, says, tell the guy who says games and wins don't matter to learn how Heisman people watch football. We don't sit around and go ooh and ah over a guy's ability to hurdle a defender. We go ooh and ah at winning big games. LSU didn't win big games. He told me who his vote is, but they're not supposed to do that. He voted for Michael Penix and it's because, why is that? Because they beat Oregon twice. Big games matter.
You have to reward winning, man.
Big games matter, and big moments matter. Lance Johnson also says, great team with serious chance of national championship. Sucks, but at least the Pokes rebounded for 9 wins.
And I'd like to point out here, this is how you come to the show after your team lost, and you do it with class.
Yeah, James and Lance have represented Oklahoma State fantastically well this year.
Agreed.
And at least the Shorthorns, my guy, will leave the remaining 12 with a big bag of cash. Essie, see you later.
I'll say this. I am super excited about these new look conferences. And I don't even mean the SEC with Texas and Oklahoma. The Big 12 and the Big 10, I am stoked to be watching Big 10 After Dark, to be watching how, Utah finds their way.
Yeah. How about this from another friend of mine listening to the show? And I'm not going to say what or where he works. We all sit around in a room and we go back and we watch tape. Our tape guys cut game highlights specific to big moments in big matchups in the plays where those guys impacted the game. Michael Penix explodes off the screen. At least half of our guys voted for Michael Penix.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'd be giving it to Penix.
I mean, yeah, I think it's crazy. Katie Rader giving 5 Monty Show memberships.
Appreciate you.
Let's go. Appreciate you. Logan for $5. Jordan Travis treated like 2010 Auburn losing Cam Newton, yet didn't even make the Heisman finalist list, but the CFP broke precedence over this. Not a Heisman finalist, but if he stayed healthy, he may have been.
But again, what did we just get told? What did we just get told?
Yep.
You got to win big games. You don't play big games in the ACC. You don't.
And I think when you start looking at, who are the guys that we heard so much about? And I think if you look at, Free Harbaugh at Michigan, everybody, he's a Heisman candidate. He should win the Free Harbaugh was never going to win the Heisman.
Brock Bowers
was never going to win the Heisman. Never was going to win the Heisman.
Dylan Gabriel
never going to win the Heisman. As soon as they started that no. You had a chance when you beat Texas, and then rock chalk happened to you. Like you can't do that. Tom Dean for $2 says abandon Castaway Conference. Okay. Logan for $4.99. The Big 12 WWE style Texas Championship belt, trophy, and field emblems didn't help the truck stop conference allegations. I thought it was awesome.
What does that mean? The truck stop conference allegations.
The idea that being in partnership with the WWE, Undertaker was at the WWE,
which I thought was awesome.
Or from the WWE, was at the Big 12 championship game in Tarrant, and gave the championship belt to Quinn Ewers. I thought it was an amazing moment. I think now the bigger problem is that the people on the stage were like, "Who the fuck is this guy, man?" That was a problem. But it's a great marketing ploy for WWE, and it's a great marketing ploy for the Big 12 because it brings in younger viewers who don't care about college football. I mean, if we have to have Taylor Swift rammed down our throat last night at Lambeau, I think we can handle a little championship belt fun for the kids who get to keep the belt for the rest of their lives.
You have a deal.
That's a great moment. I have no problem with. There he is, Teddy Wayman. A member for 10.
Let's go, baby.
My guy is back.
The beard is here.
Now, he's been avoiding me because he knows I owe him a ribeye.
Mm-hmm.
Sup, guys? Good to be back. Great show as always. Appreciate you, Teddy. Teddy, we have been espousing about the greatness of Prize Picks all season long. All season long. Thanks to Teddy's the one who got us in the Prize Picks. He's the one. Yeah, real quick. Did you guys see the hit on the sideline on Patrick Mahomes last night? Clean hit, inbounds, threw a flag. NFL officiating is the worst officiating I have ever seen. This year's NFL officiating is horrendous. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Not a penalty. That hit on Patrick Mahomes was inbounds. Clearly, all 4 camera angles showed they were fully inbounds. Shoulder contact, nothing to the head or neck area.
Perfect technique.
Should never have been a penalty.
And
It's
I think what
horrendous.
they do too much is they look, I understand that we have to protect quarterbacks, right? Because quarterbacks are the lifeblood of the league. You know, they're the ones that spark the big play. They're the ones that put food on the table for the league. Totally get it. But if Patrick Mahomes is going to put himself out there on a silver platter to get dropped, can't be throwing a flag on that. Clearly in bounds. The last play of the game, right? That pass at the hash by the end zone. It's clearly pass interference.
Yes.
It's not even close.
Yes.
He's draped all over him.
Yes.
And ESPN has spent the entire day showing the highlight, and there's an official on the far hash and an official on the near sideline, both looking at the play, neither throw a flag. Don't know how that's possible. And I'm not even a fan of Swelsey. I'm not even a fan of the Chiefs. And I'm sitting here saying, hey, dude, this is by far the most popular team in the league right now. Might want to throw that flag. Let's stop throwing it when he's established as a runner and the guy drops him. Let's throw it when there's a clear foul there. I could not believe that.
Yeah, I agree. Look at you guys popping off the 100% in the chat on YouTube. Appreciate you guys doing that. That's always fun. If you have not yet, please hit the like button. We've had over 3,000 views on the show today. Please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And again, Teddy, love to see you, my guy. I miss Teddy Wayman. Every morning when I'm in the shower naked, I'm thinking about Teddy Wayman. Because he's big bro? He's the tile king of Utah. He tiled my shower.
Yeah, he's really good at laying
Will
tile.
you guys get your freaking minds? Get your freaking minds out of you. Stop it. You get your minds out of the gutter. Yeah, I'm in the shower. I'm not going to be fully clothed.
Hiscock.
Good Lord.
Holden Middick.
You know. Salamini, how many losses did Nail Polish have last year?
Who cares, dude?
Again.
Who cares?
Salamini is no. Between those finalist QBs, Penix only has a lead in like 3 of 29 stat lines.
Next comment.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and play this game.
Gumby fresh out. Trump State University, loyal, strong, and true.
Mhm.
Okay. Boston Mapes. What's up, Mapes? I'm going to Boston in June to see the Foo Fighters at Fenway Park, Mapes. Why don't we bring you back a bowl of chowder or so? Putting in some dried ice. Heisman should go to somebody transferring. That would be epic. Why? Why, mates? Why? Why would you do such ridiculous things? We're out of here. Come on, man. The Monty Show, hour number 3 of the show, as always, presented by our good friends at Bucked Up Energy. BuckedUp.com. Whew, you guys. I cannot tell you how awesome it has been. And I know I've talked about this before, but Mrs. Monty and I are in the gym pretty much 5 days a week. Saturday morning, we got up, got in the gym, and did an amazing chest workout. Watching Mrs. Monty bench 25 pounds on each end was unbelievable. She's a machine. And I give her all the credit because she's worked really hard, but I really see the pre-workouts from BuckedUp.com. If you're a workout person and maybe you're struggling to get to the gym, Mrs. Monty has me in this routine now. If we get up at 5 a.m., we go to the gym. She gets out of bed, walks downstairs, hits her pre-workout, hits her IV, so she gets her electrolytes, comes back upstairs, gets dressed, we go downstairs and leave for the gym. So she's got that pre-workout time. Saturday morning, she was banging out. Like we did 4 sets of barbell.
Well, you bet.
Then we did 3 sets of dumbbells. And she just crushed it, dude. Like it was an unbelievable. She took a 35-pound plate and did overhead extensions. She crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. And I'm telling you, it's all about that pre-workout. It's all about that Bucked Up. Get to BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to save 20% off at checkout. And again, I think one of the things that I really appreciate about Bucked Up is the quality ingredients. They use all these great ingredients to make elite products that do exactly what they say they're going to do. High stim, low stim, no stim. Whatever your need is, Bucked Up's got it for you, and you can trust what's on the label because it's all high-quality stuff. And without them, I would not be able to be losing the weight that I've lost, being this thin, whether it's hitting a golf ball or dumbbell bench pressing, putting up 55 pounds. I haven't dumbbell bench pressed I've kind of been a wuss, I'll be honest with you. I said about 6 months ago, you're never going to see me putting up big weight anymore. Like, it's just not necessary. And so I kind of stopped lifting over the summer because I was playing so much golf. But now that I'm back to it, I am ready to get back to 225 on the bench. I'm ready to. I had 65 pounds on each end. So I did 225s and a 10. And I got to tell you, I think I could have done more, but I'm building back up to it, man. I'm telling you. It's I don't know why I ever stopped, but there is something in putting 45 pounds and 25 pounds on that bar and just banging it out and being like, you could do more. Now I'm going to go over there and I'm going to pound some dumbbell bench press. And I just remember last summer when we were putting up 100 pounds in each hand, Jake and I were over there like putting up 100 pounds in each hand, 100-pound dumbbells. And a guy walked over to us. He's like, dude, I got to tell you, that's impressive. Never seen it before. And it's like, dude, I love that feeling. I just love getting in there and but you can't do it without the proper supplements. BuckedUp.com. Make sure you use the promo code Monty to save 20% off at checkout. Greg Hawkins, look at you guys today. Gives us a $20 super sticker.
Appreciate you, Greg. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you so much. And he gifted 10 Monty Show memberships.
Greg, let's go, dude. Greg, we got to get out on the simulator, bro. I know the season's over, but we really need to do it.
Yeah, that was one of the injustices of the golf season. We never got out with Greg. But he had a new baby, and which, by the way, I hope you and the missus and the baby are fine. Hope you guys are all well. Aaron Wilson gifted a Monty Show membership. Let's go. Okay. Let me catch up on some comments because you guys have been banging today. Katie Rader, Patrick Mahomes did not win a Heisman due to wins and losses, but a travesty and a joke should be best player. I agree. Dakota Tubbs, there's been some rumblings of Ollie hitting the portal. I heard that, but I don't know if that's true or not.
You know,
somebody DM'd me a couple of tweets. I don't think I have a hard time believing that.
He's that guy that's damn good and could easily be on a national championship contender. And it's just a question of if he's willing to be
what
selfish.
I'm going to say. You know exactly what I'm
agree. He should.
You know what I'm going to say. That should be Oak State. Oak State should be a national championship.
Yeah, well,
and there's in my mind, there's no question about it. Like there just isn't. And I look at all these quarterbacks, and I mean, it's wild to me that you have so much talent in the portal. And I don't know what's going on at South Carolina. They're losing dudes left and right. But you look at all of the guys, Jaden Mayava in the transfer portal from UNLV. That's a big name. Jalen Griffin from UCF. That's a big one. Like there's a lot of names in the portal, and I am very interested to see how all this plays out. I wonder if Sol-J and Jaden wind up at the same spot. I'm very curious about that. But if you look at the running backs in the portal, it'll be very interesting to see where some of these guys end up, because there's some dudes like Cartavius Norton from Iowa State can play a little bit. He can play a lot. AJ Green from Arkansas can absolutely play a bit. So we'll see where some of these dudes end up and how it best goes. And if Ollie Gordon entered the transfer portal, he'd be the number one guy.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't even be
no comment or no question.
No question about it.
No question.
No question about it. And I think it's going to be very interesting. Like Max Johnson going to North Carolina. That's a big pickup. That is a big pickup for North Carolina.
But I want to know where the big names are going to go, though. Like I want to know. I know I keep talking about Will Howard, but he can't afford, respectfully, Will, you can't afford to mess this one up. Like wherever you go, and this is the thing I think people don't talk about with the portal and these kids. There are some of these kids who are in that position where it's like, hey, dude, you were the man at K-State there, and then you ran into some rough seas, and now you fit the portal.
Dante Moore at UCLA?
Dante Moore, perfect example. Super capable guy.
Was it Dante Moore or was it Chip Kelly's problem?
Don't know. But what I do know is Dante Moore is very talented. Very capable.
Will Howard.
Cam Ward. So Cam Ward's a guy. Did you put Cam Ward with Ryan Day? You got a problem.
But I think why would Cam Ward not go to Oregon?
Yeah.
Why would you not go to Oregon? I mean, that's every opportunity you've ever wanted.
Guess it's the Big Ten either way for you, huh?
Right? Like DJ Uyunglele. He's another one. Why would you leave the PNW? You don't have to. You can go to Washington. You can go to Oregon. I think you'd be crazy. Riley Leonard going from Duke to Notre Dame makes perfect sense.
Yes, it does.
Right? But you start looking at Dylan Gabriel, Kyle McCord. Where does Kyle McCord go? Because you're not going to step up. There's no stepping up from Ohio State. You're going to have to go somewhere
Michigan?
that's probably no. You're going to have to go to a G5, and you're going to have to earn your way. Because I think it's very difficult.
He's not going to a G5.
Where is he going?
He's going to go somewhere. He's not going to a G5. Dude.
You watch me.
He's 11-1 as a starter, and I'm not a Kyle McCord guy.
No,
but he's got all the resources he needs.
Grayson
to go and
McCall
find a
or
home.
Kyle McCord? I'm taking Grayson McCall every single day. Every single day. I mean, you like Nate Johnson from Utah. Nate Johnson's not a Power 5 quarterback. With all due respect to Nate, like I think he and again, I know that this is this discussion about Utah and quarterbacks and skill position players, and I agree. You're going to continue to have problems at quarterback and skill positions on offense. You'll always have offensive line. I think you'll probably always have depth at running back. You're going to have problems at wide receiver and quarterback until you commit to being the very best offense in the country. But that's not who Kyle Whittingham is. Kyle Whittingham, by some people's belief, wanted Nate Johnson to become a defender. And he didn't want to do that. Now, the pig farmer, I don't think anybody cares. Like, with all due respect. But I think you look at a guy.
Story, but not a big deal.
You look at a guy that is rated a 90 out of 100 and a 4-star prospect. Now he's in the transfer portal. If Nate Johnson goes somewhere else, whether that be UNLV or we'll see where he goes. Look at Boise State losing Taylor Green. Who saw that coming? Well, we told you last week that was going to happen. But who does Boise State pick up now? Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. What about a guy like Tyler Shuck? Where does he end up? I mean, there's just so much. And I think a guy like Taylor Green and Nate Johnson are not that different. Taylor Green is a guy who can't throw a football. But, man, he ran them to a conference championship, didn't he? Yeah, but that doesn't make him – is he stepping up to Oregon State, Washington State?
No.
Is he No, he's not. No, he's not. If you're leaving Boise State, where are you going? Because I got news for you. Taylor, you're not going to a P5. Is that a kid that you believe can throw for 250 and run for 100 every week? I don't think so. Those guys don't play 13 games. So I think there are some very, very interesting situations. Like I look at Trayshawn Ward, the running back from K-State. I think that is one of the best backs in the portal. One of the best backs. But if Ollie Gordon gets in the portal, are you kidding me? Come on now.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely wild. Mike Smith, Texas lost a generational running back in the draft. They lost the running back backup in the draft, and he was a damn good running back. They start this season without missing a beat, lose the starting running back, and still go on. It's wild, the depth that Steve – and I know, bro, you think Texas is back, bro? What did I tell you at Big 12 Media Days? That's the deepest team I've ever seen.
Go listen to the Jade Barron interview.
It's Texas is so deep everywhere. And now the difference with Texas think about the Tom Herman days. Think about the end of the Mac Brown days. Think about any of the disasters. What has Steve Sarkisian done? He went and stole the best coordinators and the best position coaches, who are now all up for gigs, by the way. They all recruited and they developed like crazy men. They developed. Now, some of that is going to become a burden because I think you're going to lose Murphy in the portal. I think there's a chance you lose Manning in the portal. You're going to lose some guys because they're going to throw money at those dudes, right? I think it's going to be very interesting to see, does Dylan Gabriel wind up with Levy down at Mississippi State? Where is he going? I don't know. We'll find out.
There are some reports out there, nothing legitimate, but some reports that the word is that Arch is allegedly happy at Texas and that he expects to make progress for 2024. But I don't buy that necessarily.
I think we haven't seen anything until the season's over and they go through the college football playoff. Then let's see what happens. That's when you're going to, because I mean, I think we've all seen the reports he committed to stay another year. I don't buy that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Not in this day and age of college football.
And not when you have a name behind you.
And I think there's a real flipping problem. If you're Arch Manning and you're there for 2 years and you don't play, and that third year, what happens when you come out and you get hurt in fall camp? Yeah, you never were. You're that guy. And it's a risk I don't think he can take. I really don't. But we'll see. Let's see. Bryce Martin. Texas is going to win the national championship, dude. They're as talented as anyone. But you have some really, you look at the reason I would favor Bama, Jalen Milroe, I think, is the best quarterback in this, the way he's playing.
He's playing the best football.
Jalen Milroe is playing really well right now. I think he and Quinn Ewers, Michael Penix, again, free Harbaugh, I'm not a big believer. Those other three, I think Jalen Milroe, it's really close. There's some really good quarterbacks here, but
I think if Bama comes out and drops 35 on Michigan, and they're not going to boat race them, but if you had like a 35-24 kind of game, where Alabama was in control and wins that game by 2 possessions, let's say, you're going to have all this momentum for Bama going into the national championship game. But I will say this, the committee, if this is Bama, Texas for a national championship, the committee couldn't have done a better job.
Dude, I think Texas, how are you going to beat Bama twice? And I know that was a decisive win.
Do you think Georgia's better than Texas?
No. And now, and I know on this show, everybody's like, oh, you just drink that Kool-Aid, Monty. That might be true. But I'm not going to deviate from the things that I've said about Texas all year. That team is deep, talented, and well-coached. I think Texas is the deepest, most talented team in the playoff. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Because the one thing that worries me about Texas is their secondary. And the one thing that worries me in a Bama-Texas matchup is the development of Jalen Milroe. And they're now getting these receivers, the route running of the Alabama receivers.
And Milroe's got that confidence too.
And the offensive line. Texas thrives when you try to run at them, Ollie Gordon, or when you have weakness in your pass protection, Texas is going to eat. That's not who Alabama is. Alabama has excellent route runners. Alabama has guys that make catches in tight spaces and they catch the flipping football. That's what worries you about that matchup. I look at Michigan. Michigan wants you to run the football right down their throat.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys could run the football 60 times right at us, that'd be great. Thanks. Well, the problem is that you don't have Kyle McCord type quarterbacks in this playoff.
No.
And if you think that Alabama's going to run the football right at you, Tommy Rees is one of the shocking success stories in college football right now, the offensive coordinator at Bama. They're not going to run the football right at you, dude. You know what they're going to do? They're going to make their ends tackle in space. That's what they're going to do. And I think Jalen Milroe, do you guys notice how tactical he's become running the football?
Mm-hmm. He uses his size well now.
I'm in on Bama, dude. Big 12 all-Texas sports fan. Hook 'em, boy! That's right. Aaron Wilson says probably. Dakota Tubbs, you know what they say. If you can't beat them, join them. K-State guy could fill the spot left by Schrader. Well, he could. He could, dude. I'm curious, how long can Missouri continue this trajectory? Because they're a playoff team next year. And we can argue and, hey, are they SEC good yet? Probably not. It's close. Probably not, but it's close. They're a big talent upgrade from being Really good. And right here, Schrader, you're going to have to do some work because he's a big part of that team. Bryce Martin Manning just committed to staying another year. He did. Heck, 2005 Longhorns were deeper. Yeah.
And I don't think anybody cares.
We got to go 18 years ago. 18 years ago. You're pointing at 18 years ago. Aaron Wilson, I'm a Missouri fan now. UT is throwing money at Manning. Those deep pockets. The Big Lubbock. Texas can't win a cake at a cake sale if they had the winning bid.
That's funny. Last time I checked, they were playing for the college football playoff.
Didn't they have a cake sale in Tuscaloosa? Like one of the first weekends of the college football season.
And didn't Texas Tech have a cake sale in Utah at some high altitude stadium? And their cake totally collapsed because they embarrassed themselves.
And just curious, Big Lubbock, how did that cake sale go when Texas, that's fine. And that's a game that should be played every year, which I'll continue to be pissed about the rivalries we're losing.
Rock that non-con life.
It is, and you should be pissed if you are, not going to trydaytrading.com/Monty. And if you haven't taken $10 and signed up for their 30-day trial membership, that should piss you off because just like the rivalries that are going away, you're waving goodbye to the money you're not making at trydaytrading.com because watching my wife, learning the system, going through the system with her, the money's real. There's no question about it. And it's real money. And a lot of real money. And it's very interesting to me that so many people are like, I don't know anything about day trading. Is it legit? No, it's totally fake. What do you mean, is it legit? If you go to trydaytrading.com and you listen to the test, they have hundreds of video testimonies. That's how much people believe in their program, that people quite literally give them testimony after testimony on video, saying, hey, this program's great. Hey, this is amazing. This is awesome. And yet people are like, hey, is day trading legit? Yeah, dude, it's legit. There's no doubt about it. TryDayTrading.com. Get your free 30-day trial membership. And I say free because the $10 you give is a charitable donation. You get a tax write-off for that. Then once you make your charitable donation, they give you a 30-day trial membership in their program. Elite coaching, all of their elite coaching, all of their proprietary software, processes, indicators, you name it, and you're going to be trading right away. You're in simulated trades right away because they want you to get into the program. It's an addiction. It's exciting. It's $10. If you're somebody that wagers cash, take $10 of your wagering and put it into the Tri-Day 30-day program. Trust me, you will come back and you will thank me for it. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Let's see. Boss Frog says roll Tide. I think they're winning. I think they are winning. Bob Holsey, Manning to Florida State would have solved two problems. Yeah, well, maybe. But no.
Yeah.
No, not doing it. Who wouldn't Texas be favored against out of the three other teams?
Bama. You're not favoring Texas against a Bama team that just beat Georgia.
I mean, you'd be favored against Michigan. Stylistically, Texas is a nightmare for Michigan.
You're favored against Washington slightly, I think.
Slightly,
like
but
2
I
points,
think
maybe.
Penix earns you a couple of points for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they'd be favored, everybody but Bama. Who would Michigan be favored against?
Washington.
Washington?
Yeah.
I don't think I
think they're favored against Washington by 1.5 because nobody respects the Pac-12. That's why.
I would agree with that. Did the line move at all? Michigan's a 2-point favorite against Bama on grass, passing into the Rose Bowl. According to ESPN Bet, that line has not. Now that line hasn't moved much yet. I think it will. Michigan's minus 125. That's a terrible money line. I would think that I think it's going to be tough to get a money line on that game that you're going to care about. I would guess that by the time this game kicks off, I think you are going to Bama's going to be favorite.
Mhm.
And if they're not, that's lunacy. It's lunacy. They're just trying to get you, Boss Frog, roll damn Monty. Damn right. Gumby fresh out, roll Monty. That's right.
Roll Tide!
That's right. UW beating Texas. You think so?
We'll see.
Got to be interesting. I'm curious did anybody see an update on Kool-Aid McKinstry? I saw, obviously he left that game. He left that game hurt. I don't know what his status is. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Kool-Aid McKinstry, which I don't know why you would update that injury, but we'll see. Kool-Aid were named, first team SEC. We'll see. I don't know what his injury status is. If he cannot go, I think he's the best corner in the country. That's my opinion. But I don't see an update on his injury. So I'll try to get an update for you. But that's one you got to keep an eye on. You absolutely got to keep an eye on that. Mike Smith was going to try day trading, but I won $25 on a scratch-off ticket. So I'm a hillbilly rich now and do not need the day trading now. Yeah, you always do.
You do.
Jeff Woodworth, I like money. I like money a lot. Slap Nuts RC. Riley flew to meet Will Howard. Really? I would doubt that. At the beginning of the year, you guys said, watch out for Texas Tech and Nebraska. And I think we've also said Texas Tech is one of the biggest disappointments. And I don't believe we said Nebraska. If you want to point the video out, I'm happy to go back and watch it. Nebraska has been for a while untalented. See, Salamini's interesting to me. You get a free membership. We read your comments and you just want a red ass.
Yeah.
And I've never understood that about you. You're that guy who likes to fight. And I've never understood that. It dropped to -1. Yeah, but do you see it moving to a discernible number?
What?
The line on the Bama-Michigan game.
Mm.
I'm curious about that, how far it'll go. It's even money line. Jeff Woodworth, who would Liberty Bibbidi be favored against? I have no idea. Michigan is favored over Purdue. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Capazzo. Michigan should be favored against anyone. Bunch of cheating assets. You mean shouldn't be favored? Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Autocorrect, damn it. That's what I'm saying. All right, couple more, because then we need to get to some NFL. Boss Frog, yes, I see Bama will be favored by game time. I would agree with that. But what do you think that number is ultimately? Bladi. Kyle McCord, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Let's talk some NFL on the Monty Show. No, real quick. I want to get into this ESPN Disney Elon Musk story.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see this the other day? Elon used to be my guy, right? Like I owned a major stake in Tesla. I took my own opinion and unloaded that major stake in Tesla, and thank God, because then he went nuke like this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his mind when he was asked about people advertising and pulling their money from Twitter, otherwise known as X. And he was specifically talking about Disney, ESPN, and Bob Iger.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself.
But
go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience. Actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
and the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
I don't know the answer, dude. I don't know what that is, and I don't know why he is in this situation or what it is that is so awkward and uncomfortable. And if it were just Disney, okay, I could see maybe it was a personal thing. It's not just Disney. If you look at the advertising numbers on X, it is a catastrophe. And for such a smart businessman and such an innovative thinker, a risk taker, somebody that is willing to be broke and live on mom's garage floor, to be one launch away from insolvent at SpaceX, to now being the preeminent partner of NASA. This was a huge mistake. And then to go after Disney and Bob Iger specifically, the worst part about this for Elon, and I think we've talked about this on the show before, ESPN wants to do everything that they can on their own. And we've told you on the show before that they've talked about an all-in everything ESPN app, including social streaming. And I thought it was interesting today that Andrew Marchand at the New York Post had an interesting tidbit on something we reported back in March or April, I think, that ESPN is considered pulling all of their inside information off of X, Twitter. Think about it this way. If you're Adrian Wojnarowski or Adam Schefter or Pete Thamel, and you have a big breaking news story, do you want it on Twitter? Or do you want it in the ESPN app, where you can put it in the ESPN app exclusively and drop a notification on every app user's phone? Makes a lot of sense, because right now you're helping the guy who said to go F yourself. Right now you're helping the guy who is saying that you're blackmailing him with advertising. ESPN is not blackmailing anybody. And I think when you look at their abilities, if they truly want to, and I know that they have tested and they're trying to build a pilot on ESPN, like a social stream. If they're able to build a social stream into the ESPN app, which they have talked about for a long time, I think it's incredibly damaging to X, because Shams is one guy, but that's different than Woj and Schefter and Adam Rittenberg and Pete Thamel and over and over and over. All of their people breaking news and just absolutely dominating on the ESPN app. Jake, I think it's absolutely an option.
Yeah, it's definitely an option, but I think that the balance here that ESPN is going to have to kind of figure out or wrestle with is that everybody, all the sports fans you want to see your content are on X. And I think that asking the consumer to change their habits to specifically, consume your content is an interesting challenge, because
yes,
I don't view the ESPN app as a social app, right? I view the ESPN app as an app where I can get sports news, but I don't get my news from the ESPN app. I get live sporting events, let's say. I get stats.
But if you knew that Schefter and Woj, if you knew that the inside information because ESPN leads the news cycle hourly.
Absolutely.
If you knew the only place to get that news was in the ESPN app, my feeling is the people who are so anti-ESPN app, and there's a lot of them, you can't be anti-ESPN app and win at the water cooler.
I think that if ESPN executes this in a way where you're just going to make it where every time Woj has something to say, or who whatever the name is, right? Anytime they got something to say, it sends me a banner notification. That's cool.
Yep.
But I don't want to have to open the app and go hunt for it. Just like on X, where when I have alerts on all these different sports news accounts like Woj and Shams and, Rittenberg and Auerbach and, whoever you want to point to, all these different accounts. So when they tweet, it comes to my phone. I don't have to go hunting for it. If I can do that with the ESPN app and they set it up in a way where I can choose who I want to hear from and who I don't, then I'll be a big fan of this. But if you just simply say, hey, all of our people are going to be putting their news out through the ESPN app, and you will get banner notifications, but you cannot customize them at all. You can't choose who you want to hear from and who you don't. I think that would hurt this transition a lot should they choose to do this. So I would
agree.
It really matters the experience you give the consumer. If you just roll it out and broad brush it and shortcut it, that's not going to work out as well for you. But if you pay attention to detail, really put some money behind it, really make an investment in it, I think it can be a really good thing.
And I think you're going to have to do that in 18 months or so, because ESPN is going to go direct to consumer, which means they're not going to, their biggest games are going to be on stream, ESPN.com, ESPN, the app, whether it's on your TV, on your phone, on your tablet, that's going to be the way to get the SEC championship game. It's going to be the only way to get the SEC championship game. And I think that is the future. And I think all Elon Musk is doing is hurting his company in the long term. And I just, man, I want to love Elon Musk. I really do. But the last 6 months, I'm kind of done with it, Elon Musk.
Well, look, the arrogance is just, oozing out of him. The us against the world mentality is oozing out of him. And again, it's what I say about whether it's the Florida State thing or otherwise. You have to understand that losing is just like winning, right? Like just the same way you'd handle winning, and SpaceX is the official partner with NASA and all that. Like just the same way that's a celebration. You got to learn how to say, okay, we should not be telling folks like Bob Iger to go F themselves. That's probably
wild.
Not the most professional look. And the thing, on one hand, I appreciate, but on the other hand, I despise, is that Elon Musk has the balls to say it to the guy's face, essentially in a spoken word interview. Like most of the time when you get stuff like this, it's in ink. This was just straight up, as you saw in the video, him saying it. And I think the other part that bothers me is Elon has always been this kind of cowboy figure, the guy that's always in a t-shirt and pants and wearing the leather jacket and, always riding the Harley. Like that's been his personality. And now you're rolling this stuff out there.
And you're down there. I think the projection that the height, they were at $6 billion a year in advertising. They're down below $3 billion now. And they are well below, right at or below 1% of the global ad market. And it's like, that is shockingly low for Twitter. I just can't believe it. And I think it's really interesting to see the fluctuations in Tesla. And if you look at the struggles of Tesla, if you look at when we were looking at our positions and you look at every time he does something like this, I mean, damn, just pulling it up, you're down to 235.58. Like that's incredible to me. Now, you're also not the $113 you were a year ago, but you're just going in the wrong direction. And the Cybertruck struggles now. And I just really worry about Elon, the brand of Elon on the whole.
Elon Musk has made the mistake of making himself and his image and his brand as a person bigger than brands like Tesla and X and SpaceX. That's his problem. So now I'm not going to buy a Tesla, and I never was going to buy one, but I'm now not going to buy one because I don't agree with Elon. I don't agree with how he runs his business. I don't agree on his lack of professionalism. I don't at all.
Yeah, it's rough right now. And if you're a Tesla guy, and I know many of them that are just ardent, you got to stick it out now. Because if you're one of the folks that has been a long timer, and you look at where when you were in the 300s, $400 a share, a lot of people got in at that level, and it's going to be tough. You stuck it out at like I said, $113 a year ago. You're going to have to stick through some tough times. And I think Tesla is this Cybertruck needs to go well.
Yes,
but
it does.
I think the user base at Twitter has never been lower. It's just, man, I used to be a big Musk supporter, and now I just I don't have any heat for it. You know what I mean? Like,
because he's no longer an American inspiration. He's no longer, oh, the American dream. No, he's an asshole now. He is this guy that thinks he's better than you, thinks that he can tell guys like Bob Iger to go F themselves. And I'm not even saying that he needs Bob. That's not the point.
No.
The point is that if you're going to say that to Bob, what are you going to say to Steve? What are you going to say to Jeff?
You're burning people's currency. Man, people trusted you with Twitter. People trusted you with Tesla, SpaceX. It's scary. And I think Twitter and Tesla are very volatile for a reason. And it's because of his actions.
Yes.
People care what he says, as you should. I think if you look at same thing about Bob Iger. If you look at the great American businessmen, Elon Musk is certainly one of those dudes. Guys like it used to be Donald Trump. It's Elon's that guy now. I mean, there's 1,000,001 of them. You look at Bill Gates, you look at,
Jeff
Bezos, you just look at the titans.
But you never hear, and hey, maybe this is where I'm a youngster and wasn't alive for it, but in my lifetime so far, I've never heard Warren Buffett come out and tell someone to go F themselves publicly.
Yeah, and but Warren's a different guy. He is a different guy.
I get it. He's not running space technology businesses, but my point is that Elon didn't need to do this. He did not need.
No, he did it
to
to
go
himself.
Like scorched earth on Bob Iger. What is the point? What were you trying to accomplish? Were you trying to look like a tough guy? Congratulations, dude. You look like a jackass now.
You're already arguably the richest American. I mean, I agree. I mean, the Zuckerberg thing, I think that's where the weird shit started with like the Mark Zuckerberg match and the fight and
fighting in the Coliseum that never happened.
But if you look at who's another weirdo, you look at a guy like Steve Ballmer.
Mm-hmm.
He's passionately weird. Elon Musk is, anytime you're accused of being, an anti-Semite, as he has been accused of, or that scares a lot of people, dude. And this Twitter thing, I think he got himself into a position at Twitter that he never desired to be in. He never wanted to be in Twitter. I don't think he ever wanted to own Twitter.
But it's his pride, dude.
I think he popped off, and that's why he tried to get out of it. But it'll just be interesting to see, like, if you look at the richest American men right now, he's at the top of that list. He is at the top of that list, and I think it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. But, I'm looking at that list, like Sergey Brin's very interesting. He is, obviously he's the Google dude. And he's a guy that you never hear from him. You never, ever hear from him. Right. And you never hear from Michael Bloomberg anymore. You never hear from like Larry Page. Do you ever hear from Larry Page? Those alphabet Google dudes get it. Man, you talk less, act more, right? I mean, like Bezos in his penis-shaped rocket. Like, okay, you're still the second richest American, right? Like, it's wild to me that Texas, California, like New York dominate this list. Like Arkansas and the Waltons. You never hear from those dudes. You hear from Elon Musk every single day. And I don't know that it's a good thing.
Notice the more he talks, the more trouble he gets in.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, you know what? This is very true. All billionaires are weird. That's very true. No doubt about that. Teddy Wayman, speaking about Elon, I just watched Starlink go by. Wow, that's cool. Very cool. Starlink's another one. I also like the Starlink Ukraine thing, like Starlink's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
This guy is not stupid. This guy is not stupid.
You think you know it all.
David Ute fan. Elon Musk is not he's originally from South.
Next comment.
He's an a-hole to you, but not to everyone. He's about free speech, but no. Then why is he doing what he's doing at Twitter? I mean, certainly the limitations and the throttling of people so that he's not about free speech. He's about being at the top of the mention list on Twitter and changing the algorithm. He got caught changing the algorithm so that he would show up first. Come on, man. Everybody's about free speech until you have the ability to squelch people's speech.
Yeah, look at Florida State.
He's about free speech, and he has the capability of calling out the 1% hypocrites. So are you saying that Bob Iger's been a hypocrite? Bob Iger never blackmailed him. If you're Disney, do you feel like your money's well spent on X? That's not your demographic anymore. It's not like they said, hey, if you don't put us at the top of the search. That's not what it was about. I disagree with you a little bit on that. He's like Trump light, says too much without thinking first. There's some of that. There's Donald Trump trying to defend Florida State so that he can insult Ron DeSantis. He said not enough lobbying. Blame it on, what does he call him?
The sanctimonious.
The sanctimonious. That was amazing. Aaron Wilson said Musk has opinions and huge platform. Got to respect him. He does. I don't have a problem with it. Listen, you own the thing, dude. Drive the car the way you want to drive it. Boyd Lake Iger's just trying to save Disney. Elon is on the ASD spectrum. I cut him slack. I trust him more than most of the big tech dweebs. Well, he doesn't hide much, does he? He doesn't. And donuts. Aside from ESPN, Disney is garbage in my opinion. It's funny. Mrs. Monty and I were listening to Howard Stern the other day. And what was Howard saying? The problem is in the comic book world and in the cartoon movie world and in the scripted TV world, there's not an original thought. There's nothing new. It's all retreads. It's all Superman. It's all Marvel. It's all origin stories. Like, I think Disney has a conceptual problem. They want to hit the easy button over and over and over again. And it's why their streaming stuff has become stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as people want to point to stuff like Suits on Netflix, which has been a revelation, and now there's a spinoff in the works, right? Those things are so few and far between. There's only so many times that you can watch Nemo. There's only so many times that you can watch Alice in Wonderland or go to their biggest issue is you have to raise the price so high at the theme parks because the streaming and entertainment divisions are killing you. And like, there's just no
Star Wars isn't paying the bills as much.
It's not. You need an original thought. You need new. And there just hasn't been enough new. And I don't know how you fix that. I as somebody that creatively tries to creatively think every day,
it's not easy.
Not when you got billions of dollars on the line. How many avatars are there? How many Hunger Games are like? You think about the blockbuster films. Those things are not easy to make. How many Inceptions are there?
Toy Stories.
Right? Like, where's our Cars? Where's our Ice Age?
Incredibles.
You need a new it. And I just think that's very hard to come up with, man. Very hard to come up with. Let's see. Mr. Downtown for $2. Will the Pac-2 acquire the most QBs? P2. Big Ten SEC. That's interesting. I think the SEC has QB needs. Certainly the Big Ten does. Ohio State, the least of which. Oregon and Washington. I mean, there's going to be a lot of move. This is who we are now in college football. What do you think of Will Rogers to UW? I think you can do better.
Should do better.
Right? I mean, with Michael Penix there, when your school has one of the leading Heisman candidates, you should be able to recruit your ass off at QB. Because it's a QB award, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You can do better.
You should be able to get a nameplate there, man.
I'm a big fan of the Arch Manning way of life. Go find me the 5-star high school kid that's ready to play. That's what you. I think one of the trap doors in the portal is, oh well, we'll just go get Will Howard. We'll just go get Will Rogers. We'll just go get
Cam Ward.
We'll solve all our problems. Well, maybe that 5-star high school kid. Because if you're going to go get a Cam Ward at Oregon, you better have the best quarterback in the country. Oh, that's right. That kid's going to go somewhere else and start. So you better be able to develop and put Malik Murphy behind Quinn Ewers and develop him when Quinn gets hurt. I think we get too comfortable. It's the easy button in the portal with quarterbacks. DK, I'd rather have someone who's an open a-hole than a silent one. At least I know who they are. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't think I don't know if Elon's a good person or a bad person. He's a volatile businessman, and that scares me. I play the market, and I am not somebody who likes volatile CEOs. And he is hurting Tesla because he's a volatile Twitter CEO. There's just no doubt about that. When you say the stuff he says as publicly as he says it, and everybody's like, oh, look at him flexing on Iger. And watch the stock price.
Because it's those people that don't talk that control your stock price that are doing the damage.
And your major shareholders. And again, at X, it's a little different because those major shareholders are your advertisers. And you can tell them to go F themselves, but without that $7 billion in ad revenue that you had at your peak, you're not at your, you're weak.
Right.
And the next social platform will come along. And I actually think the ESPN model is what you're going to start seeing, because there's too much money being paid to the shams of the world by Yahoo Sports, or, like look at Yahoo Sports last week, massive layoffs. They don't lay people off because they're going out of business. They're doing something. And you should pay attention to it behind the scenes because it makes a difference. John DeLon. Yeah. Elon is the CIA. Can we move on? Sure we can. Wow. Okay. All right. Capazzo, the dinner bell is ringing at my house. Got to go, fellas. Great show, Graham. Appreciate you. Let's see. Should we talk about my scamdemonium?
Sure.
All right. So Jake's birthday is 2 weeks from today. He'll be 21. Legal, right?
Let's ask Josh Giddey.
Gloria Allred. Damn, bro. Gloria Allred is representing the girl involved in the Josh Giddey case. Josh, you're cutting a check, dude.
What's an erection?
Gloria Allred is a shark, Mr. Giddey. Pull out the check. Well, that's the wrong way to say that. Scratch a check or a wire in this case. So I wanted to buy Jake a really nice gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I it still may happen. I was on a certain app known as Insta Snapface. And I found exactly what I was looking for. DM, make a deal, send a Zelle. You guys know what Zelle is? It's a money transfer system through the banks. All right, cool. It'll be there Tuesday. No problem. All right, great. Got an email this morning. Hey, this is the shipping company you've never heard of that doesn't have a real website. It's a WordPress site. And we're clearly in China, but we're trying to convince you we're in Colorado Springs. We're going to need you to pay us $257 more in shipping insurance. On an item that's $600 or $500. $257 more. The moment it's delivered, our delivery person's going to give you a code. You put that code into the website, we'll instantly refund your $257.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
Call my bank. Hey, this happened. I'm a little concerned. Can I get my money back from Zelle? Yeah, just call us back when you're ready to make that move. Absolutely, we can. Okay, great. Zell them the $257. The guy's like, send me a Zell. I'll handle it for you personally. Don't worry about it. Gives me a different email address blocked by Zell. What should I do? Because they're on me. They're like, the phone's ringing during the show here. They're DMing me on Instagram. Hey, this hasn't come through. What do I do with that?
I mean, you have the protection, so that's good. You know, you have that reliability. But, and I don't know what the gift is. I just want to put that out there. So, you know, I can't speak to how worth it is or is not.
Oh, it's worth it. It's 100% worth it.
Okay, so assuming that this is 100% worth it, and you know, we absolutely,
it is the perfect gift. I looked for it for a while. It's exactly right.
Okay. I mean, look, so I agree that this reeks of, you know,
Chinese guy in Africa trying to scam me out of money.
Yeah, that's what this reeks of. But I don't know, man. Like, it's weird to me that so explain this. You had this conversation with them about this shipping insurance portion.
Yeah. So you're in Colorado Springs and you're not using FedEx, UPS, USPS,
DHL.
No. They're using something I've never heard of. So, okay, I sent a Zelle. I check the phone number. Here's the other red flag. I check the phone number and it comes up on a scam website.
He's just a hack.
So I straight up said to the guy, hey, here's a screenshot. You're a scammer.
You did?
Yes. I sent him a screenshot and I said, why does this number come up on a scam website? And he said, I don't know. And he sent me like, hey, here's another Zelle. Hey, here's some shipping. Like, I've done business. And this is a big Instagram account. Like, this Instagram account we're talking about. And Mrs. Monty is texting me now saying, you're not doing this. It's got 13,500 followers. And they've sold, I mean, it's a renowned shop.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, but like they're sending me.
Does this Instagram account, do they have a website? Because you said you found them through an ad, right?
No, I have followed them for some time.
Oh, okay.
Because they sell a certain product.
Because I know I've heard from other people that sometimes Instagram ads, what'll happen is scammers, what they'll do is they'll run an Instagram ad impersonating the product that you follow based off your activity. You click on the ad, you think you're buying from here, but you're buying from there. And so it's a whole runaround. So that's why I was asking if you clicked on an ad or if you got it straight through them.
No, I got it straight through them. And I even Google image search the pictures that they sent me and they don't come up nowhere. So it's not like, I think the product is real. I just don't know. I don't know what to do with it. And the guy at my bank today was like, yeah, it's not, he said to me on the phone, yeah, it's no problem. You have protections through Zelle.
Is there another avenue to get it besides this avenue?
There is not.
Damn.
There is not. And it is the perfect gift.
Huh.
It is the perfect gift. And
that's really tough, bro. Because I guess it all comes back to so let's say it all goes sideways and it's a scam and they take your money.
Yep.
I've dealt with that one time with said bank and it worked fine. Got my money back and everything, no problem. But you're usually really good at identifying a bunch of BS,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm not going to send them further funds. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, if I sent them money for the product and I had no belief that there was an issue, and I'm not going to send these guys. I'm not going to do it. And it's really unfortunate because it is an absolute gem of an item.
Right.
And I can cancel it. Like I'm looking at my stuff right now.
So that was the other thing. So you still have the ability to cancel the order.
No, I have the ability to cancel to not send them any more Zelle. And that's clearly what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to do it.
So what do you think is going to happen then? So you don't send them any more money. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, you heard me. I detailed the conversation with my bank today, and they said, yeah, you'll get the full amount that you sent them back. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to wind up disputing it with my bank. And he said they'll issue me a provisional credit on the spot, and that it'll go through the process. And because I even told the guy, because they never told me ahead of time when I bought this particular, it seemed like a normal transaction.
Mm-hmm.
A plus B equals C.
Hey, it costs this much. You get the
now I'm not going to get it. So I guess I can tell you what it was.
Okay.
Because I canceled it. It was a Scotty Cameron oil can putter.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful piece. You can't readily get those.
Are you comfortable saying what company you're trying to buy from on Instagram?
Yeah, the name of the Instagram account. Yeah, I don't mind telling you at all now that I canceled it. The name.
That is a outstanding gift. Were you going to get it right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay.
Scotty Cameron _sales on Instagram. And my wife says, "Oh, they have 13,500 bots that follow them." I actually went through there. I actually sat on the couch this morning. I was dealing with this for about 35, 40 minutes this morning. And I went through the process and looked at their followers do not appear to be bots. Like they're actual like, hey, getting after it followers. And so it just feels like, and it's just my opinion, it felt normal. And then this morning I got that email that said we need $257 to ensure the shipping that you'll get back the moment that it's delivered.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
It does not. Insurance doesn't. You pay insurance and you never get it back. And why would I need to give you from Colorado Springs to Utah? Why am I paying you $257 for insurance?
For a putter.
And then when I go to your website, it already says item out for delivery. So yeah, I don't trust you at all. And then your number's not good. And you're calling me 2-3 times during the show. Boss Frog says, what the F do I know? I'm clueless when it comes to financial services. Do not Zelle, damn it. Why? What do you? Okay. So tell me, do tell. Where did you say he did? He said, do not Zelle. No, you do not have protections through Zelle. Tell me, please. Do inform. What? I mean, you're the financial guy on this show.
I have to give you credit, dude. I just want to publicly give you credit that this would have been an amazing gift.
Oh, it's a phenomenal.
I have to give you a lot of credit, dude.
Phenomenal. And they also had
the fact that it's the oil can one is crazy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful putter.
Yeah,
the Scotty oil can is 35 right-handed.
And how much were they charging you?
It was a $400 putter, and I paid $100. They also had, and another reason I trusted them originally, they also had the exact Scotty Cameron head cover that I wanted for my putter. I have a Newport too.
Right.
And it's a Pebble Beach Monterey head cover.
Yeah.
Can't find them, impossible to get. I sent them a thing and I said, I'm not going to pay for anything until you show me this head cover. I need to see it. And they sent me one. I was also looking at this Rory McIlroy limited edition Scotty Cameron.
Yeah.
But it was $600. And I was like, I'm not paying that much. So I just was looking at their inventory and I said, hey, I want this particular head cover. And they were like, yeah, sure, dude. There's the head cover. And
wow,
it is
sick.
Yeah, it's a super limited edition Monterey head cover from Scotty Cameron. And I've only seen it one other time, and it was in person. And it was freaking amazing, dude. It was.
Yeah, the price on the oil can varies a lot. I've seen everything from.
Look at this one. This is the one I bought. That's the one I bought. And it is mint condition, $400. You can't find it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find. So
it's even got the lettering on the handle.
Yep. Lance said too good to be true. Maybe not too good to be true. It was perfect. The funny thing is it's priced exactly at market value for being mint. It's used, but it's mint.
It's a beautiful putter. Dude.
Yeah. It's a beautiful putter.
Beautiful putter.
It's everything you want.
Yeah.
it wasn't too good to be true. It is priced exactly where it should be.
Yeah.
Priced exactly where it should be. Jeff Woodworth, I had my bank call me about suspicious activity. Liquor store, Wendy's bar. Yep, that's me. Donations to charity. Hold up. Someone stole my card. Exactly. Well, Boss Frog, where are you? You've got to explain this Zell thing
dude,
now.
you come in here hot taking and then you don't explain it. Come on, dude.
Where are you going? Jeff Woodworth says it's a fake club. It's not, though. And the other thing is, like, they're a very reputable Instagram site. Like, they constantly post really good clubs, and they're usually all Scotty Cameron. So
I'm just surprised, I guess. I agree with the take that if this shipping portion of it had been mentioned initially, hey, we're pricing the club here, but the shipping is this much. So we need to tell you that ahead of time before you go ahead and finalize the transaction. Then it would have been like, okay, fine, whatever, right? Then at least you can decide.
Yep.
But it's just totally fishy with them running that out at the end or whatever. Like totally fishy.
Totally agree. So there you go. I killed it now. Now I'll go through my bank. It sucks because it absolutely sucks. It sucks. OG Gary says, guess you got to do an RS3 for Jake.
Hey.
John DeLon, a donation has been made in your name to the Human Fund. Okay.
All right.
Boyd Lake, doesn't PayPal own Zelle? They do not. Don't they back them? Last I heard, PayPal was pretty airtight. I don't know. I need Boss Frog to explain it. And here he is. Monty, see Reg E under electronic transfer action. You might have recourse through your financial bank, but it's very unlikely you will get the funds returned. Best to avoid. Yeah, I hope that's wrong. The guy on the phone today was unequivocal. He was like, he's like, yeah, no problem, man. You'll get a provisional credit the same day you call us as soon as you file the complaint.
That makes me very wary of trusting Instagram.
That's why I don't like buying stuff.
Yeah.
We've talked about this on the show.
Yes.
I hate buying stuff online. I want to go to the store and touch and feel it. And our guys at PGA Superstore do a great job. We have listeners that work there, but they don't have that putter.
They have Scotties, but they don't have that one.
Newport, they only have Newports.
I would be very curious to know, and if anybody knows in the comments section, very curious to know if you can custom order Scotties through the PGA Superstore. Don't know if you can do that or not. Not sure. Never thought about it.
Boss Frog said provisional. Yeah, it's provisional. You're exactly right. It is provisional. The funny thing is I use Zelle for the lady who cleans our house.
Mm-hmm.
I pay her on Zelle. And these guys wanted to use Venmo or Zelle. And I was like,
Zelle is much more. Yeah, I mean, at least then you have recourse.
Yeah, Zelle feels more secure than Venmo, but
Venmo is not secure at all.
Boss is saying that's not the case. Boyd Lake, Venmo is owned by PayPal, not Zelle. Zelle is owned by the largest American banks. Correct.
Yeah.
John DeLon, Monty is lame because he doesn't Seinfeld. True, I don't Seinfeld at all. Uncle Filthy, nope. Zelle is basically wire transfer. You are SOL if it goes to the wrong place. Well, it went to the right place. It's a scam. So we'll see. I'm going to call him in the morning and we're going to get it handled. So,
well, I appreciate you trying to do that, man. That would have been a hell of a gift.
That would have been an amazing gift.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a gift. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. OG Gary, I don't trust SeatGeek. They scam me out of Rose Bowl tickets for Utah, Penn State, so I'm strictly Ticketmaster. Yeah, we had an issue when we were giving away tickets with SeatGeek. And it was a headache. Look at this. Look at these people calling me again.
You want to do it on the show?
Do I do it on the... Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, this is Scottish Cameroon Sales. I'm just trying to confirm if the payment has been completed.
Okay, well, hey, I'm on my show right now. You're on my show with me, and I'm just letting you know that, like I told you on DM on Instagram, your number came up on a fraud website, and so I know that you guys are scammers. So I sent you a Zelle. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I told you that this is our business number, okay? So there are so many fake websites that usually create some fake Scottish account and scam other people, and the things that they're the people who think that they're that.
Right, but this is your phone. This is your phone number, right?
That is what I'm saying. That this is our business number.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is your phone number. Yeah.
I told you that everything.
Right, but
The package.
right, but you telling me everything's cool doesn't make it cool. This is, you know, the world we live in. Here's my question for you.
Yeah, I know.
Here's
your package needs to be delivered tomorrow. So
right.
You just have to be patient.
Right, but here's my question. If you're in Colorado Springs like you say you are, why am I paying $257 in shipping that you never told me about for insurance from Colorado Springs to Utah? Why aren't you, if you're in Colorado Springs, why aren't you using UPS, FedEx, United States Postal Service, like everybody else?
I told you already that we have been using the shipping company for about 5 years now. Okay? So when a situation like this come up, we just have to talk with our clients to make them understand that they will get a full refund back once the package arrives at your location. Because this is just a private shipping company in which you have to go through this cost.
Right, but you own the shipping company.
No, I don't own the shipping company. I usually go there to ship the
Okay, so
customer packages.
So here's my question.
Hold on.
Here's my question. If you don't own the shipping company, why is the phone number to the shipping company and your phone number the same number?
Come again?
If you don't own the shipping company, why is your phone number, this phone number you called me on, why is this the same number to as if I call, this goes to the shipping company as well? It's on the shipping company website.
I don't understand what you're saying, okay? I don't understand what you're saying.
Here's the, I think I'm being pretty clear. Why is your phone number the same phone number as the shipping company that you're asking me to pay $257?
Come again?
Okay, for the third time now, why is your phone number the same phone number that's listed for the shipping company?
Because this is a shipping company, okay?
So you own the shipping company.
I'm giving you the direct call, okay? I work for.
Oh, so you work for the shipping company.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many people have you scammed like this? Just out of curiosity.
I don't understand what you're saying because I just call you to ask you a question. I don't know why you're saying all this stuff. I just wanted to wait.
Here's the problem. You're telling me you're in Colorado Springs, and I know you're not. You're telling me that you're from the Scotty Cameron sales on Instagram. You're not. You just admitted to me you work at the shipping company. So you're trying to talk your way out of this. Hey, bro, you're not talking your way out of this shit. You're caught.
I don't know what you're saying. I said this is a delivering guy, okay?
Oh, this is a different guy now.
Yeah, this is a delivering guy.
Yeah, you're caught. You guys are scammers. I know you're scammers. Your phone number comes up as a scam phone number. The website to the shipping company comes up as a scam phone number, as a scam website. Come on, man. I know this is not a question.
I already explained everything to you. I don't know why you don't understand what I'm trying to say.
What I don't understand is if you're legitimate, if you are legitimate, explain to me why would I pay you when you won't use UPS, FedEx, or the United States Postal Service? When I asked you this morning and you were trying to be somebody else on your Instagram account, because your name's Donovan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the problem. The other person on your Instagram account told me that you, Donovan, are a partner in the Scotty Cameron Instagram site. You're lying to me.
Hold on. You don't understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, when we take the package to the express shipping company, they just have to put a stamp on the package and the logo, and if the package will be delivered by us, okay?
Right, but you said that you said your name is Donovan. Sadie at the PGA site told me that you were her partner.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you just told me you're at the shipping company. What I'm telling you is you're full of shit, bro. You're lying to me because you're trying to scam me. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. If the putter shows up tomorrow, that's great. If it doesn't, I'm going to report you. And I already talked to the people at my bank in Zelle about it.
Look, the package cannot be delivered tomorrow because we have not yet received the payment. Because once we end this call right now, you're going to put the package on hold when you pay for the
Right, but on the website, how is that possible? On the website, it says it's out for delivery already.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying, that if you're not willing to proceed right now with the 275, we're going to put the package on hold.
Right, but it's out for delivery already.
We will contact them. They will put it on hold. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you're going to contact your own shipping company, right, on a package you never shipped?
So you're going to call yourself?
Yeah, you're going to call yourself. Can you do that? You must have an iPhone then, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm still here. Oh, we all of a sudden have a bad connection. Well, guess what, dude? I'm not sending you another penny. It's over.
Then now just contact them to put the package on hold when you're ready to pay for the refundable insurance.
I'm never going to pay you for the refundable insurance, and I'm going to dispute it with Zelle.
He didn't like that line about, hey, so you gonna call yourself then, or what are we doing?
There's just no chance. There is just no chance that, dude, like nobody calls you like that.
Nope.
Nobody calls you like that.
So what happens? So is there any chance this putter shows up tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. We'll see. I guarantee you he sent me a message on Instagram. You know that's a fact. Because they already sent me a message today saying, this is Sadie. Donovan is my partner.
Oh.
And he's not yet received payment because it's still pending at your end. I will be the one to refund you back. So
there you go.
Yeah. Stop. Like it's a scam. I'm going to report it to Instagram. I'm going to report that the guy today said that they can shut their Zelle off if I can prove to them. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do.
Man,
lesson learned. Yeah, it sucks.
That sucks, man.
It just shows you that you can't trust people.
You know what it shows you? You have to go through legitimate, like you have to go through websites that have, there's like no doubt about it. No, like you can never take it. It sucks because I love to support local business, but you can't take flyers anymore.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. You have it. I'm going to go home and cry now.
Appreciate you doing that on the show, dude. That was awesome.
That was fun. We don't get to do that enough.
Yeah,
we don't get to do that enough.
Dude, when you rolled out the, hey, so you're going to call yourself line, and you just stopped and hung up.
The Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at The Advocates, the best injury attorneys in the business. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, where you never pay out of pocket, ever. At The Advocates. You don't pay The Advocates until they win your case. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.